across the nation and around the world, the Mutual Broadcasting System presents the nation's #1 college football game, Purdue versus Notre Dame. Hello, everybody. This is Van Patrick speaking to you from South Bend, Indiana, from the University of Notre Dame Stadium. And today's game is brought to you by the B.F. Goodrich, the company that launched the radial age. State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. Ford and your Ford dealer, the place you gotta go to see what's going on. And by Prestone Antifreeze, the brand that stands up to the acid test. Out on the field right now, the largest college band in the nation, the Purdue University Band, entertaining. And we have an absolute magnificent football afternoon. The sun is shining brightly, and it's about 70 degrees. But let's go around the mutual vantage points now. And first of all, I'd like to call in my colleague on the broadcast, Al Wester.
Right, Van. Good afternoon, everybody. A full house, over 59,000 football fans packed into Notre Dame Stadium here in South Bend, Indiana. This is a top college football game of the afternoon in the nation. The first and second-ranked football powers in the country, Notre Dame and the Boilermakers of Purdue. They meet head-on for college football's top spot. Both clubs with big first-game victories. Notre Dame over Oklahoma, 45-21. Purdue defeating Virginia, 44-6. This great series between these two Indiana schools dates all the way back to 1896, when Purdue won the opener 28-22. The Irish and the Boilermakers have met 39 times. Notre Dame leads in that series with 23 wins to 14 losses and 2 ties. The game is one of the great rivalries in college football. Last year at Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue handed the Irish one of their 2 defeats, 28-21. If there is one ball game that Notre Dame fires up for, it is a battle with the Boilermakers. And revenge for last year is the prime thought of Irish coach Ara Parsekian and his coaching staff. I am sure that the same is true, too, for Purdue coach Jack Mollenkopf and his assistants. Now for a check on the weather, the wind, and the playing conditions, let's go down to the playing field by the Notre Dame bench for the third member of our mutual football crew, Bill Etherton.
Well, down here on the sidelines, the weather is almost a duplication of last weekend's Oklahoma type. The field is firm and sure. There has been very little precipitation in South Bend, Indiana this past week. I would say that the turf has never been better, this being only the second game of the season. It's approximately 75 degrees, very little wind. Notre Dame will miss Tony Capers out with a torn hamstring, the young man who against Oklahoma last week was almost booting kickoffs out of the stadium. Purdue is very healthy. I talked to Jack Mollenkopf as the Boilermakers worked out here in the stadium briefly yesterday. Jack told me that physically, except for Dick Marvel from nearby Penn High School at Mishawaka, Indiana, Purdue should be at full strength. He also said they didn't work out here simply because they were playing Notre Dame, but because it was the first away-from-home contest of 1968. So everything is riding here right at the beginning of the season, Al Wester and Van Patrick, for a giant stride toward that National Collegiate Football Championship. And that's the report from down here right now. Back to the booth and Van Patrick.
All right, Bill, and the Purdue Band still performing down on the field, so let's just for a moment listen to the Purdue Band.
The Purdue University All-American Marching Band with more than 300 members. It is the largest university band in the country. It's composed entirely of male students. Football music at its finest from South Bend, Indiana. In just a few minutes before this ball game gets underway, the Notre Dame Marching Band, the first marching college football band ever in America, will be taking the field. We'll introduce them at that time.
The following portion of our pregame show with Leroy, Notre Dame head coach, is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, the place you gotta go to see what's going on. Well, in a short time, Purdue battles Notre Dame. Coach, I think before we talk about today's game, we should go back and review last Saturday's game with Oklahoma. I'm sure you were a little surprised by that one.
Dan, you're exactly right, particularly in the first half when we fell behind 14-7. When we came back in the second half, I was pleased, of course. I was delighted, and the entire coaching staff and squad was delighted that we won the ball game. But the thing that really surprised me more than anything else was the fact that we scored 45 points on a very fine Oklahoma team. A year ago, the same football team, or I should say 7 of the regulars defensively, gave only 63 points in the entire 10-game schedule. So the thing that really surprised me more than anything else was the fact that we were able to score that many points. I think Chuck Fairbanks has graduated a lot of top people, particularly a fellow by the name of Granville Liggins, that contributed an awful lot to the defense. But our passing game was sharp and our running was good, and it was good to get started with our first victory.
Well, Coach, today you really got a tough one. United Press ranks Notre Dame #1. Associated Press ranks Purdue #1. Jack Molenkoff says Notre Dame is #1. Ara Parsegan says that Purdue is #1. And you both probably hope you're wrong.
That's exactly right, Van. I think at the end of this ball game, why we're going to know. I think it's a little bit early in the football season, the college football season, to determine really who's #1. I think both teams are outstanding football teams. I think the picture will crystallize somewhere in the middle of the season where teams have had an opportunity to play about 5 games. As you know, Purdue is one of the preseason favorites, and rightly so, with the outstanding talent that they have. They had a very convincing win against Virginia in their opening ball game, 44-6. We had a convincing victory, even though we yielded 3 touchdowns to Oklahoma in our opening game. So it shaped up as a Pro Bowl game, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. And we're more interested in knowing where Notre Dame winds up in November and December than we are, say, in September.
Well, you don't have any conference championships to worry about, so I would imagine these yearly polls are important to you and Notre Dame.
This is very true, Van. I make no bones about it. The fact that we are not a member of a conference, so there can't be a conference championship. We do not participate in postseason games. Therefore, we are vitally concerned about our position in the polls. We would like to be #1. And if we can't be #1, we'd like to be in the top 10. If we can't be in the top 10, we want to be in the top 20. The polls are important to us, and we're very much aware of them, and we just hope that we can stay somewhere near the top.
Well, Era, the 1969 Fords came out yesterday. What do you think?
Well, Van, I'd call that new LTD a football coach's dream. It's big, it's strong, it's quick. Ford let me take a sneak test drive this summer. And even though the LTD has a longer wheelbase and a wider track, it turns in an even tighter circle than last year's Ford. Another thing, Van, in 1965, Ford built an LTD that tested quieter than a Rolls-Royce. Well, after driving the 69 LTD, I'm convinced it's the quietest car I've ever been in.
Ford has also redesigned the interior of the LTD. The dashboard sweeps away from the passenger compartment, giving the passenger nothing but room. Ford calls it the big front room, and believe me, that's exactly what it is, a big front room. By the way, Era, have you seen the 1969 Mustang?
You bet. And the thing that surprised me most is how completely changed it is. The one that really gets me is the Mach 1. It's a beautiful car. It's got all the performance you could ever ask for. There's also a Mustang that's as cool as the Mach 1. It's hot, the 69 Mustang Grande. This is the ultimate in luxury in a sports car.
Right, Era. And also new are the cars from Ford's Performance Corner. Cars like the 1969 Torino, last year's success car. And I just have to believe the success car of 1969, too. Cars like the new Cobra, which is the hot-performing low-price car from Ford's Performance Corner. All in all, Era, Ford's got quite a lineup of cars for 1969. And folks, the place you've got to go to see what's going on is your Ford dealers. Now, Coach Ara Parsegan, let's take a look at Purdue versus Notre Dame coming up in just a few minutes. What about this ball game?
Well, Van, I'll tell you, this is going to be one of the great football games. It's a traditional rivalry. We play it each year, and in the 4 years that I've been at Notre Dame, we have won 2, and Purdue has won 2. I think in this game we're going to see some outstanding stars on both sides. For that matter, Leroy Keys is one of the outstanding athletes in the country. He's Mr. Versatile himself, so to speak. He does everything well. He runs out of the backfield. He lines up at flanker back and catches passes. He throws passes from the backfield spot. He kicks off. He kicks extra points. He plays defense. There isn't anything he doesn't do. And along with him, they've got a great quarterback in Mike Phipps, a great fullback in Perry Williams, in Kirkpatrick, fine running back, and the backup people are very strong. This is a well-personneled, well-skilled football team. They're well-coached. They're well-disciplined. They have a lot of people back on defense, and I'll tell you this, it probably, rightfully so, in preseason picks, most people selected Purdue as being the #1 team and the national champion. This is going to be a big game for us. It's not going to be easy. I think our ball club is fairly well prepared. We're still green defensively, and I only hope they can meet the challenge of the great skills and passing ability of this 1968 Purdue football team.
Well, now, you opened against Oklahoma last week, and you had quite a few injuries. Have they improved?
Well, Van, we still have some boys out. Bob Olson, our co-captain of our defensive unit, I think is going to play. Whether or not his ankle is going to hold up, of course, we're going to find out quickly in this ball game. He'll start, and whether or not that ankle holds up, we'll know in a hurry. We've lost Tony Capers, our kickoff man, and also second-string defensive end. We've also lost our second-unit defensive our offensive tight end. We've also lost our outside linebacker earlier, Jim Wright. They'll be out of the ball game, but last year, at least we're picking up Olson that we didn't have last week, and we're losing Capers and Wright. But aside from that, most of the boys are in pretty good physical condition, and I only hope that they can meet this challenge.
Is that right?
We'll have more from Coach Ara Parsegian on the nation's college football in just a moment.
Well, last weekend, Jim Seymour's 9 pass receptions, which totaled 101 yards and 2 6-pointers, gained for the lanky split end of the Irish a career record of 14 touchdown passes caught. He is now the possessor of every Notre Dame pass receiving mark on a career basis. And mind you, there's still 9 full games for Jim Seymour to play. Will success spoil the former baby bombers, who have now matured into the best passing combination in the 80-year football history of the Fighting Irish? Well, Coach Ara Parsegian says that getting a big head is a problem for many athletes, but he points out that Hanratty and Seymour have had no difficulty in either their sophomore or junior seasons. And as they get older, they seem to mature and get better. There is no reason to believe that problem will arise in 1968.
Coach, last year against Purdue, Hanratty threw something like 63 or 64 passes. Now, do you anticipate we might have an aerial game with 2 fine quarterbacks like Phipps and Hanratty?
You know, you're really never quite sure about how the game's going to go. I know that Jack Mollenkopf has his game plan. We have our game plan, but that plan can be altered considerably depending on what happens in the contest. For example, last year, the final score was 28-21, and Notre Dame was behind in that game on 4 separate occasions. Now, many of the passes that we threw were at the end of the first half when we were trying to score, and also at the end of the ball game when we were behind by 1 touchdown, so that increased the number. Hopefully, we won't have to throw 63 passes, but this doesn't mean that this might not happen, depending on how the game goes. I think it will be an offensive game. I know that Mike Phipps is a tremendous quarterback, and of course, we've already talked about Leroy Keys. I think in Hanratty and Seymour, we've got outstanding talent. But the nature of the game itself, we're only going to have to wait until this thing unfolds as to whether or not it's going to be a running game or a lot of passes. I know this, that the fans are going to see some outstanding talent on the field. And as I said, I only hope that we can meet this challenge.
Coach, we have to take a 30-second timeout.
The hottest offensive weapon the Fighting Irish have fielded in the last 2 seasons have been Terry Hanratty and Jim Seymour. Mr. Fling and Mr. Kling is their call. Seymour set a new all-time touchdown pass record last weekend against Oklahoma. He caught the 13th and 14th touchdowns of his career, a brand new mark for the Irish record books. In total, Seymour caught 48 passes as a sophomore, 37 as a junior, and in the first game of the season, 9 passes for 101 yards.
Well, they've been talking about Leroy Keys playing defense in this ball game today. His job will be to cover Jim Seymour. I would feel that maybe that might aid Notre Dame because it might serve to tire him out a little bit going everywhere that Jim Seymour does.
Van, I think that's right. I think they definitely will use Keys defensively. I think it'll be in spot situations. I think we'll have to look for that 3rd down and 7 or 8. It's very likely that you'll see him in there. Also, if they're trying to protect the lead, you'll probably see him in there. I think they'll try to utilize him fully on offense because I know that they're going to give him that ball on a number of occasions like they do O.J. O.J. Simpson I referred to at Southern California. Keys is going to have his hands on that ball any number of times. And I would imagine if they can keep him off the defensive unit so that they can keep him fresh offensively, they'll try to do that. On the other hand, if they need him defensively, you're going to see him out there because he's that great an athlete.
You know, this could be quite a scores of ball clubs.
They're going to play a very important part in the outcome of the game. I'll guarantee you that. The pass rush and the ability to contain the run are going to be very significant parts of the Big Four.
Coach, thank you so much, and good luck to you, and this should be a tremendous ball game, and we'll be talking to you again next week before the Iowa game.
Thank you, Van.
From South Bend, Indiana, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the Boilermakers of Purdue. A showdown for the National College Football Championship in September. Hard to believe, but this is the first and second-ranked college football teams in the nation. On paper, it shapes up as a shoot-the-works offensive battle, and what a battle. Both these football teams are strong up front. Both have the scoring punch to make it an adding machine match. A lot of scoring has been the prediction. For Notre Dame, quarterback Terry Hanratty and split-in Jim Seymour against last year's scoring champion Leroy Keys of Purdue. A tie in this football game could shatter both teams' hopes. Southern California is standing in the wings with O.J. Simpson. A beautiful afternoon here at South Bend, Indiana, with 59,000 plus standing by for the opening kickoff in the football action between Notre Dame and Purdue. The 40th meeting of Notre Dame and Purdue, and one that has more significance possibly than any in the long series. The #1 rating in college football hinges on today's outcome. Let's run down quickly the starting lineups. For the homestanding Fighting Irish, at split-in number 85, senior Jim Seymour. He holds all of the passing records in Notre Dame history today. At the left tackle, number 61, Jim Riley, a junior, 6'2", 230 pounds from Yonkers, New York. Seymour is 6'4", 205 from Berkeley, Michigan. At the left guard, number 56, a sophomore, Larry DiNardo, 6'1", 243 from Queens, New York. At the center, number 55, Tim Monty, a two-letter man and a senior, 6 feet 220 from St. Albans, West Virginia. At the right guard, number 79, Tom McKinley, a two-letter senior, 6'1", 235 from Kalamazoo, Michigan. At the right tackle, co-captain of this Irish football team, number 78, a senior, George Coons, 6'5", 240 pounds from Arcadia, California. At the tight end, number 96, a senior and one-letter man, Jim Weingartner, 6'4", 225 from Lima, Ohio. The Fighting Irish, in their navy blue jerseys, gold helmets, and gold trousers, are already at the head of the tunnel, and in just a moment will come on. Starting in the backfield for the Irish, number 5, their great quarterback, a two-letter senior. From Butler, Pennsylvania, he is 6'1", 200 pounds, Terry Hanratty. The running backs today, starting for Ara Parsegian, number 20, Bob Gladio, a two-letter man, senior. Here comes Notre Dame taking the field. Here in South Bend, this is a partial crowd. Number 20, Bob Gladio, a senior, 5'11", 185 from Louisville, Ohio. At the other running back, number 22, a sophomore, Denny Allen, 5'11", 190 from Ashtabula, Ohio. And the fullback is number 47, Jeff Zimmerman, a one-letter junior from Orrswickburg, Pennsylvania. He is 6'1", 205 pounds. That is the offensive starting lineup for Notre Dame. Offensively for Purdue, across the field, at the split-in, number 46, Randy Cooper. From Lima, Ohio, number 67, Clanton King starts at the left tackle. Number 61, Gary Roberts at the left guard. Number 57, Mike Frame at center. Bill Beisma will start at the right guard, number 52. At right tackle, number 75, Paul Denuccio. At right end, the tight end, Marion Griffin, number 83. In the Boilermaker backfield, 3 veterans from last year. Number 15, Mike Phipps, a great quarterback from Columbus, Ohio, who is 6'3", 205, a junior. At the running backs, number 25, Jim Kirkpatrick, 6'1", 197-pound junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. At the other running back, the great All-American, number 23, the man who does everything, Leroy Keys from Newport News, Virginia, 6'3", 205, a senior. And the fullback spot will be handled by a veteran, Perry Williams, number 47. Williams is 6'2", 217, a senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Offensively, very quickly, we ran over that front wall offensively for the Boilermakers. We'll go down it again for weights and hometowns. 46, Randy Cooper, 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore, Lima, Ohio. Number 67 at the left tackle, Clanton King from Chicago, 6'2", 250, a senior. Number 61, the left guard, Gary Roberts, 6'2", 225, a senior from Kent, Ohio. Mike Frame, the Boilermakers center, comes from South Bend, Indiana. He is number 57, 6'1", 210, and a senior. The right guard, number 52, Bill Bilesma, 6'2", 220, a senior from Lafayette, Indiana. The right tackle, number 75, Paul Denuccio, 6'3", 239, a sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois. And the tight end, number 83, Marion Griffin, 6'3", 215, a senior from Chicago, Illinois. Those are the 2 offensive powerhouses that battle here in this 40th meeting between the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Boilermakers of Purdue. Right now, we're getting all set for the kickoff. Down below on the football field, the individual members of the Notre Dame football team are being introduced. The photographers all gathered to the left, and this stadium jammed to the rafters. It seats 59,075. Auxiliary stands have been jammed in all around the field to accommodate a tremendous overflow crowd. And there are thousands I know who wanted to come to this football game but knew it would be virtually impossible. It is sunshiny and bright, just a wisp of crowds in the air as the Irish, after their introduction, come towards their bench across the field in white jerseys and gold trousers, the Boilermakers of Purdue. Down below us, in their navy blue jerseys and gold trousers, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Out for the flip of the coin now, the 2 captains representing Purdue and Notre Dame for the flip of the coin, and we'll find out in a moment who receives and who kicks off. For Purdue, Chuck Kyle, one of the co-captains, and along with him, number 47, fullback Perry Williams. For Notre Dame, their great offensive tackle, George Coons. And for the Irish, Bob Olson, who was injured and did not play against Oklahoma last week. This week is in the starting lineup. He's a defensive middle linebacker on the right inside position and one of the best. Now the officials have had the flip of the coin. Notre Dame has won the flip. They will receive.
And get this ball game underway. It's one the fans have been waiting for a year. And here's the boot. It's coming down here to Gladstone. He's back to the 5, the 10, to the 15. He's to the 20, to the 25. And he comes on up to about the 28-yard line, where he's brought down by the Boilermakers. Finner is the man who hit him, number 80. So make it first down and 10 to go now. And they mark that ball on the 28-yard line of Notre Dame. First down and 10 to go. McCoy, Yancher, Mary, Rogowski backing up that line along with number 99 for Segas. Here's a give-off now to the fullback right straight up the middle, up to about the 37-yard line, and he is brought down. Chuck Kyle in there, the middle backer, and on the tackle for Purdue. They may get time here to take a measurement. Last week, Jeff Zimmerman, the 6'1", 205-pound junior from Pennsylvania, had himself a fine day, and he rips off one here that's going to be mighty close for a first down. You'll hear a tremendous roar if he got it. Looks like he's just a little short. Now Tim Monty is coming over the field, and holding his shoulders he did. Seymour is flanked out to the right. The pro set formation with Hanratty calling the signals. The quarterback sneak. He's at the 45-yard line and is knocked down on the 45 and has a first down for Notre Dame. DiNardo and McKinley, the two guards, and Coons and Riley clearing the way on the quarterback sneak. So make it 1st and 10 for Notre Dame on the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Sparkivas backing up the line on the right side. That T formation again with Zimmerman. A setback in there with Gladjo for Notre Dame with the two flankers, and the pitch is to Gladjo. He's following the quarterback Hanratty, and he comes on up to the 48, possibly to the 49-yard line, and John O'Reilly, the halfback defensively for Purdue, making the tackle. Checking up on the play was Mayhurt, a sophomore from Midland, Pennsylvania, and he's being helped to his feet now by Bill McCoy. All right, flanked out wide to the right is Gladjo. And here's Hanratty on a give this time to Allen. Allen trying the middle of the Purdue line. Gets to the 49-yard line in Purdue territory. Murray, the right tackle. Yancher in there to make the stop for Purdue, so the ball is on the 49-yard line. So make it 3rd down coming up. And just about 4 yards to go. The series originating on the Notre Dame 45. Seymour is flanked out to the right. Dennis Allen is split out to the left. The tight end is Weingarten. Terry Hanratty calling the signals. Hanratty on the draw play to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman is hit as he reaches the 47-yard line. The Purdue defense, Yanaska coming in there, the left backer, number 58 from Westlake, Ohio, diagnosed the draw play and made the tackle. So they marked the ball on the 48 where it'll be 4th down and about 2 to go. The Arietta in there to do the kicking. He did not.
Notre Dame in punt formation.
And Foley back in the deep safety spot. Left-footed kick and a short one, and this one is hitting and rolling around, is finally hit by a Notre Dame man on the 24-yard line. A short kick on the part of the Arietta of only 24 yards. 12 minutes and 22 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter of this ball game at Notre Dame Stadium, and there's no score. And now the Purdue Boilermakers take over. Notre Dame goes on defense. Mike Phipps at quarterback, Leroy Keys at right half, Kirkpatrick at left half, and Perry Williams at fullback. Cooper and Griffin at the ends, King and Danuccio at the tackles, with Roberts and Bilesma at the guards. Brame is the center. So back in the huddle now goes Purdue's Boilermakers as they take over on offense. Notre Dame took that kickoff and moved it to the 28, then to the 20, to the 45, and then into Purdue territory to the 46, and then bogged down were forced to kick.
They moved 23 yards in that first drive, Van, from their 28. After running it back on the kickoff 25 yards, they moved 23 yards in some 5 plays, and then were forced to punt. Well, we've seen the offense of the Irish now work effectively. They worked well off the tackles. Their middle game yet is to be established, and they have not gone to the air. We have not seen a Notre Dame pass. Now we'll see the vaunted attack of this Purdue football team as they put it in play, with the first down coming up at the Purdue 24-yard line. And I guess everybody's looking forward to seeing just how strong the Notre Dame defense will be challenged. Mike Phipps at quarterback with Perry Williams the fullback, the great Leroy Keys, and Jim Kirkpatrick. These 4 in the backfield of this Purdue football team can cause anybody a lot of headaches and a lot of trouble. Defensively, Kuchenberg and Lauk are the ends. McCoy and Jockish are the tackles in the front line of Notre Dame. And here we go with the first running play for Purdue.
Cooper split out wide to the left, and here's a pitch back to Leroy Keys, and Keys is at the 25. He's up to the 30, and is dropped on the 31-yard line, so they're wasting no time in giving this football to Leroy Keys. And Mike Phipps is limping off the field. Phipps, the quarterback, is limping off the field. Bill Atherton, did you catch anything on an injury there with Phipps? All right, it'll be 2nd down and 4 to go for Purdue, and Keepert is in there at quarterback. He gives it to Keys, and Keys is hit for a loss, back on the 26-yard line. And Bob Olson, the co-captain of the Notre Dame team, came blasting in there as Keys took a pitch from the quarterback, Keepert, Don Keepert, and Olson belted him right on the 27-yard line. This series originated on the 24, and banked out wide to the left, and Cooper split out to the right. Keepert is the quarterback, and he's going back to throw. He's looking for a receiver, cocks his arm, throws one. It's completed on the 40-yard line and onto the 45-yard line with it. The Purdue Boilermakers have a first down. Completed to Randy Cooper, the left end, a sophomore from Lima, Ohio. The secondary brought him down, but on the 45-yard line. So it'll be a first down now for the Boilermakers on the Purdue 45. Mike Phipps over on the sidelines, being replaced in there by Don Keepert of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. 6-footer, 182 pounds. Now Leroy Keys is flanked out to the left again. And here's a pitch to the fullback, Perry Williams, who fumbled the ball, but he covered it on the 46-yard line. Williams never got full possession of that ball, and the senior from Cincinnati fumbled it, but managed to recover the ball on the 46. So actually he gained a yard on the fumble play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 to go now for the Purdue Boilermakers, operating from their own 46-yard line with 10:25 to go in the first quarter. Leroy Keys wide to the right side this time with Randy Cooper split to the left. And here's Keepert going back to throw, looking for a receiver, throws one, it's completed. It's completed on the 47-yard line to Kirkpatrick. He's down to the 45, he's at the 40, he's the 38, he's down to the 37. He's finally knocked out of bounds on the Notre Dame 37-yard line by Tommy Quinn, the safety man. And the Boilermakers have a first down on the 37-yard line.
This Purdue football team is moving the ball, and they're moving it through the air, and they're moving it on the ground, and they're doing it with the second-string quarterback, Don Keepert, 6-foot, 182-pound junior from Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Two flankers again, Cooper to the left and Keys to the right, and Keepert is going back to throw, gets great protection, throws one incomplete. Intended for Randy Cooper, the sophomore from Lima, Ohio, and incomplete. Kuchenberg, McCoy, Jokic, Locke up front for Notre Dame with Kelly, Olson, and Lavin backing up the line. Gasser, Quinn, Jackson, and Nybert in the secondary. And going out of there now is number 46, Cooper, being replaced by 82, Dillingham of London, Ohio, 6'2", 192-pound senior. Coming in at that split end to the right, Dillingham is deployed to the left. And Keepert going back, looking for a receiver, throws one, it is incomplete. Intended for Leroy Keys, and Keys was covered by John Gasser.
Van, on the sidelines, I noticed the first-string quarterback of the Boilermakers, Mike Phipps, is up. He is limbering up his knee. Apparently that was what was hurt. The coaches are talking to him over there, and I wouldn't be at all surprised on the next series offensively to see Phipps, the number 1 quarterback of the Boilermakers, back in action.
Well, you can't find too much wrong with the way young Keepert is run the situation, and Leroy Keys wide to the right. And back goes Keepert again. Still going back, cocks his arm, throws one to Keys. Keys has got it at the 25. Keys at the 24. And is pulled down on the 24-yard line. And the tackle was made by Tommy Quinn, the safety man again, and Keepert is throwing that ball beautifully. And it's a first down for the Boilermakers. You can hear that crowd across the field rooting for the Boilermakers from Purdue University. And the ball is resting right on the 24-yard line, and that's their 3rd first down. And there's a timeout on the field with the score, Notre Dame nothing and Purdue nothing. Hold it here. Now let's see if the officials are going to take it. They're calling it now officially a first down. Leroy Keys is flanked out wide to the right. Quarterback Keepert is asking for time so they can hear the signals. Noises, so they'd get used to it here. Here's the draw play to the fullback Williams. And Williams at the 20, at the 19. And he's knocked down on the 19-yard line. Nybert is the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame, the linebacker on the right side on the 19-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down for the Purdue Boilermakers and about 6 yards to go. And the Boilermakers are driving with this football. They started the series on the 24, and they have steadily moved down the field to the 19-yard line now of Notre Dame, where they have it 2nd down and call it just about 5. And here's the pitch back to the fullback again. Williams is tackled as he reaches the 17-yard line. He is gang tackled in there. Keys it was carrying the ball. Leroy Keys running from the fullback spot. And Olson in on the tackle along with Kuchenberg, the left end of Notre Dame. Leroy Keys moving the ball to the 17-yard line. Keys last week caught 8 passes for 94 yards, and he ran with the ball 11 times and gained 58 against Virginia, as Purdue won it 44-6. So the ball is on the 7. Out wide to the right now goes Dillingham. Keepert calling the signals, pitches it back to Keys. Keys is throwing a pass, and it is batted down. Great defensive play by John Gasser that saved a touchdown for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And Keys threw that ball well right into the end zone. Dillingham was down there. And also Perry Williams. Goal. The attempt will be made from the 24-yard line with 4th and 3. It's spotted. It's booted. It is. We're waiting. Good. So the score, the Purdue Boilermakers 3, Notre Dame nothing. We'll be back with Purdue's kickoff in just a moment.
The kickoff coming up here. The second kick for Notre Dame now. After taking the initial kickoff, they moved it over the midfield stripe into Purdue territory for the first time of the afternoon, then had to punt. Purdue took the ball on their 24-yard line in sustained drives with 4 first downs, brought the ball all the way back to the Irish 17. A third down pass was knocked down at the last moment by John Gasser in the end zone. It could have meant a Purdue touchdown. Instead, the Boilermakers settled for a 17-yard field goal and a 3-0 lead. A magnificent afternoon for a magnificent football game, a natural between two ball clubs, each being named the #1 football team in the land by separate major news service polls. The Irish are getting set now for the kickoff.
Jeff Jones will kick off. He just booted a 34-yard field goal, and here's his kick. It's short. It's coming down on about the 15-yard line. It's taken there by Duchesny. He's back to the 20, to the 25. He comes on up to the 27. He's brought down right there on the 27. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame as Fenner made the tackle for the second time today on the kickoff. So make it first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. They have the ball on their own 27-yard line, and they trail 3-0. And we have 8 minutes and 22 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter at South Bend. Now Notre Dame out of the huddle. They have Hanratty at the quarterback. And they send Gladjo out wide to the right. Jim Seymour split out to the left. Weingarten the tight end on the right side. And here's Hanratty back to throw his first pass of the day. He looks, he throws. It is caught by Seymour at the 50 to 45. He's knocked out of bounds. Down on the 41-yard line, and he had Jim Seymour open on that one. Beautifully thrown, and he had great blocking to give him time to throw the ball. First down for Notre Dame, and the Fighting Irish coming right back as they get 31 yards on that one. And Bill Atherton, that was right in front of you.
That Patrick, he had all the time in the world. We ticked off some 5.5 seconds on our stopwatch, and that's...
All right, Seymour's flanked out wide to the left. And here's the give now to Gladjo. Gladjo knifed right through the middle, goes down to the 36-yard line. And he's tackled there by Chuck Kyle, the middle backer from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. So mark the ball on the 36-yard line of the Purdue Boilermakers. It's second down and about 4 yards to go for Notre Dame. The Irish trailing 3-0. They're coming out of the huddle. They come. Seymour split out to the left. The T formation with a balanced line. Purdue in a 5-2 defense right now. Hanratty on a pitch to Gladjo. He's following his blockers. He goes wide now at the 30. Cuts back. He's down to the 27. He should have a first down. He's on the 27-yard line. He had good blocking on the sweep. He cut in, dipped out into that line, and then wide, and Bill McCoy finally brought him down. On the 28-yard line, they will mark it and make it first down from the 28 for Notre Dame.
Jeff Zimmerman with a great block there, Van. He got around there, and he got a runner loose. And I'll say this, he was ready.
Gladjo's flanked outside Seymour this time. And here is the give now to Allen trying to go wide. He is dropped at the 30-yard line, losing 2 yards on the play. Rogowski and O'Reilly in there making the tackle for the Purdue Boilermakers on the 30, and a loss on the play of 2. 7 minutes of playing time remaining in the first quarter. And the score, Purdue 3, Notre Dame nothing. A complete sellout dive to split in. Weingartner's flanked out to the left. Calling the signals, Hanratty. He's back to throw, cocks his arm, throws over the middle to Weingartner, incomplete. An incomplete pass, back to cover on the play was John O'Reilly. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. And now they send Gladjo and Seymour wide to the right. Hanratty is going back to throw. The rush is on. He's being rushed. He throws, and this one is caught by Seymour. And he's out of bounds on the 23-yard line. Rogowski was putting the pressure on. And how he ever got rid of that ball, I'll never know.
The catch was fabulous down at about the 23-yard line. Seymour was running, doubled over. He caught that one just above the shoe tops, pulled it up, held on as he went into the photographers on the sidelines. Just coming, Van.
Scott Hempel is in to attempt. It will be a 40-yard attempt, and Hempel picks it up. It's a fake. He throws it out to the left, and it is no good. That was intended to be a fake, but they didn't get away with it. Hempel was going to throw a pass that time because it was a 40-yard attempt, and Notre Dame loses the football as Purdue takes over on their own 35-yard line. And the Boilermakers are leading by a score of 3-0, and Keepert is still in there. They didn't take the full time again, and these officials are not giving us any indication whatsoever of when they're calling an official timeout and when they are not. And the handoff was to Keys, who rolled out the right, threw a pass that was incomplete. So make it 2nd down and to go now for the Purdue Boilermakers from the 35. From their own 35-yard line. And now Keys is flanked out wide to the right. Randy Cooper split out to the left. Cooper's replaced Dillingham in there. And here's Keepert on the give this time to the left halfback, Jim Kirkpatrick. He's at the 40, he's at the 42, and brought down on the 42-yard line by Bob Nybert, the right outside linebacker of Notre Dame on the 42-yard line. So that's a gain on the play of 7. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 to go for the Boilermakers. They're back in the huddle again. They have Don Keepert, number 10 at quarterback from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Now they line up in the I formation with Keys, the top of the I. And here's a pitch back to Leroy Keys. He starts, cuts, goes up the middle, and is dropped on the 43-yard line by Bob Nybert, the linebacker again. And he brought him down on the 43-yard line.
Bob Olson is the key man on that play, Van. He put his shoulder down and drove it into Keys, and that was the man who stopped the forward motion.
So that'll bring up a game. Joe Theismann going back in the safety spot, along with Gladjo. And Dick Berg is back in kick formation, gets his kick away. The fair catch is called for by Gladjo on the 27-yard line. So Notre Dame will take over, 1st down and 10 to go. That's a kick of 30 yards on the part of Dick Berg. So now it's Notre Dame's ball, 1st down and 10 to go for the Fighting Irish. Next week we'll be in Iowa City, where Notre Dame will play the University of Iowa, coached by Ray Nagel. So the ball on the 27-yard line now of Notre Dame, 1st down and 10 to go. 5 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the first quarter. Purdue leading by a score of 3-0. Let's go down to the sidelines at Bill Etherton.
Van, I have a report on Mike Phipps. He is sitting, going to school at the bench and talking to Keepert every time the Purdue defense is in. He apparently has an injured thigh, and he apparently right now is not nearly ready to come back into the game. Back to you, Ben Patrick.
All right, let's take a timeout with the score. Purdue 3, Notre Dame 0.
Purdue has 28 returning lettermen, 6 starters on offense, 5 starters on defense. But they also have 9 returning lettermen from the second-team offense and 10 from the second-team defense. They were number 2 in the nation in total offense with 423 yards a game last year. They were 9th in scoring with 29 points a game. All the 3 All-Big Ten backs returning are All-American Leroy Keys, Now the Irish are backed up to their 27-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Notre Dame as they come out trailing 3-0. And once more with the play-by-play, Van Patrick.
Right, Al, and split out to the right now is Gladjo. Seymour deployed to the left. Hanratty, the quarterback. And Hanratty on to give this time to Allen. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. And he is stopped, fights his way forward to about the 38. Finally brought down in there by Don Webster, number 32, in the secondary. He's from Chicago. And the Chicago fans listening to WNUS. 5 minutes of playing time remaining in the first quarter. And the ball is on the 37-yard line. And it's a 1st down for Notre Dame. 10 yards gained on the play, and that's the 4th first down for Notre Dame. In case you joined us late, Jones kicked a field goal. Purdue leading 3-0. Seymour flanked to the right. And here's the give this time to the fullback, Zimmerman, moving straight ahead to about the 39, and he runs right into the middle backer, Chuck Kyle, 225-pound senior from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. So make it 2nd down and 9 yards to go. And number 45, Purdue. Strong to the left this time for Notre Dame with Seymour flanked to the left. And here is the give to the fullback, Zimmerman, and he's tripped up as he reaches the 49-yard line by Yancher. The left tackle tripped him up, and he almost got away.
Great run there by Jeff Zimmerman. And what's happening is Terry Hanratty is reading the defenses now. Now, that 5-man front wall of Purdue's has 2 linebackers. Those linebackers are overshifting Van to the strong side of Notre Dame's offense. And when they overshift, that leaves the middle crack open, and that's exactly where Zimmerman went.
They got almost a 6-man defensive line now as Hanratty gives it again to the fullback, Zimmerman, right through the middle to the 42-yard line. He ripped it to the 42-yard line, and they're getting great blocking up there from McKinley and DiNardo. And McCoy is the man who made the tackle, the left end. Webster was also in on the tackle, and Purdue has called a timeout with the score, Purdue 3, Notre Dame nothing.
It is interesting to note in this Purdue backfield that fellows like Leroy Keys is the key man. He was the national scoring champion with 19 touchdowns last year. Along with him, 2 great returning lettermen, fullback Perry Williams, who was second to Keys in scoring, with 66 points last season, and their fine quarterback, Phipps, who was injured on the first play of this ball game, rolled to 2,020 yards in 1967. This is the 3rd time in the football game that Notre Dame has been able to penetrate the 50-yard line and to go into Purdue territory. It's interesting to note, I think, Buck Jersey passes along a note here that Zimmerman has gained 30 yards in 5 tries. Notre Dame has rolled up 67 yards in 12 carries, so the Irish are moving the football well on the ground. Now, when they've had to go to the air, and when it has been Hanratty to Seymour, apparently Purdue has not solved the situation of stopping this passing combination because Hanratty has been able to get the football to Seymour. Hanratty 2 for 3 for 38 yards.
All right, and now Seymour's flanked out wide to the right as the only flanker. The pro set with Hanratty calling, gives it to that fullback again. He's at the 40, the 35, and he's down to the 33-yard line. Jeff Zimmerman, the junior from Pennsylvania. And he's tackled by Don Webster from Chicago, making the tackle on the 34-yard line of Purdue. It's a first down for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And that's a total of 6 first downs. Flanked out to the right. Weingarten, the tight end, on the left side. And waiting for it now is Hanratty, the quarterback, and on the quarterback sneak. He's to the 30, possibly to the 29-yard line, and is hauled down by the Boilermakers. And that was Alec Davis, the right tackle from Hamilton, Ohio, a sophomore, making the tackle. They're going to mark it on the 30. A gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 to go now for Notre Dame. The ball on the... And Zimmerman, the fullback, is set back now with Gladjo. Signals are being called by Hanratty. Hanratty gives it to the fullback, Zimmerman. And Zimmerman is to the 27-yard line and is brought down right there. He's hit by Rogowski, the right end. Paraskevas, the linebacker, on the right side, and mark it on the 27-yard line of Purdue.
Well, Van, as you know, we spent most of yesterday with the Notre Dame coach, Ara Parsegian, and although we did not ask him, and we will not ask him for his game plan before football, to keep that ball, to control it, and keep it on the ground until the second half, and then go to the air.
Purdue stunning a little bit on defense. Here's Hanratty going back to throwing, and it is caught at the 24-yard line by Bob Gladjo. Gladjo grabbed the ball on the 24-yard line. It's going to be mighty close for a first down. If not, it will be 4th down and just inches to go, so we'll just have to wait and see where he was bumped out of bounds, and we'll probably have to get the chain in here for a measure. Let's see. No, he's a little short, about a half a yard short with a 4th down. Notre Dame has 82 yards rushing, 40 yards. Now they line up in a straight T formation. Now it's a combination of the T and the I, with Gladjo the top of the I, and the give is to Gladjo. He's got a first down. He's still running. He's down to the 14-yard line with it. Webster and O'Reilly made the tackle, and Hanratty made a great call on that play. Let's go down to the sideline and Bill Etherton.
Well, we've been noticing anytime that Purdue gives Hanratty more than 3 seconds, he has been hitting his receivers with unerring accuracy. He's cutting them up.
Gladjo has 29 yards and 4 carries. The I formation, and in motion this time goes Allen. The give is to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman gets to about the 13, getting 1 yard on the play. Marie in there, the right tackle. Yancher, the left tackle, to make the stop along with Kyle, the linebacker, and mark that ball on the 13-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 9 to go for Notre Dame.
Well, the Irish are down on the 13-yard line, and there, when they went to a 6-2 and they overshifted the linebackers again, they got caught, but I doubt seriously if they'll make that mistake twice.
Hanratty on the call in the straight T formation. The pitch now is to Gladjo. He's going wide. He's at the 10. He cuts back, and he's down to the 7-yard line of the Purdue Boilermakers. Yanaska in there to make the tackle along with Webster. Yanaska, the big linebacker from Westlake, Ohio, and they bring him down on the 7.5-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down. And now big number 95 of the Purdue Boilermakers, limping a little bit, Alec Davis, as he goes off. About 15 seconds to play here in the first quarter of the ball game. And here's Hanratty on a give to Gladjo, and there is a counter play that did not work. He handed off to Gladjo coming back. Yanaska, the linebacker on the left side, diagnosed the play perfectly. It's 4th down and 6 to go, and Scott Hempel, the kicker, is in now for the University of Notre Dame. And that's the end of the first quarter with a score: Purdue 3, Notre Dame nothing.
The Notre Dame defense spent much of yesterday's practice working on ways to try and stop this great All-American from Purdue. Leroy Keys, Mr. Do-It-All himself, the top performer offensively on this club and the top performer offensively in this country last year. Jack Mellenkopf has called him the greatest football player he ever coached. Well, Keys, lining up at that flanker, has been having his trouble today. Just about every time he's come off of the line, they've had 2 men out there, at least one, to whack him, one of the linebackers. And, of course, the defense figures that by slowing Keys down at least a couple of steps as he comes off of the line, they have the chance, a chance at least, to match him stride for stride. They're double-teaming him. They're double-teaming Keys, and I might add that Jim Seymour, the great split end of Notre Dame, is also being doubled all the way.
Here's some scores. Second period, Penn State 7, Kansas State leading 9-7. First quarter, Michigan 7, Duke nothing. First quarter, Georgia Tech nothing, Miami of Florida nothing. It's 4th down and 6 yards to go for Notre Dame with the ball on the Purdue 10-yard line. And Scott Hempel is in there to attempt now with Hanratty holding. And the attempt will be made from the 17, which will make it a 27-yard field goal if it's good. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. The kick is no good. It's just off to the left. And so Notre Dame, after marching down the field brilliantly, try a 27-yard field goal, and it's no good. And so Purdue will take over on their own 20-yard line with a 1st down and 10 to go. Bill Etherton, how much did he miss on that field goal?
I would say about 5 feet, Van. Actually, from our perspective, it looked very near
Columbus, Indiana. Number 15, Mike Phipps. And Phipps on a pitch this time to his halfback, Kirkpatrick. And Kirkpatrick fights his way to the 25-yard line, just ripping in over his own left tackle. And Bob Olson, the co-captain, the junior, the linebacker, made the tackle for Notre Dame. They're going to mark that ball on the 26, a gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4 to go, and this has been a brutal. Danuccio and King at the tackles, Griffin and Cooper at the ends. And here's a pitch back to Leroy Keys, and Keys is forced out of bounds on about the 27-yard line by Nybert and Ernie Jackson. They forced him out of bounds. He tried to sweep the Purdue left end, the Notre Dame right end. And let's see where they're going to mark that ball. They're going to put it right on the 26. So it'll be now 3rd down coming up and 4 yards to go. And
back outside before he made the turn.
Keys flanked out to the right. They put 2 men on him. The draw play to the fullback, Harry Williams, and Williams is hit as he reaches the 27-yard line. Wherever Keys goes, he takes a crowd with him. Notre Dame dropped off 2 men to cover. That brings up a 4th down. 4th down and 3 yards to go. Heisman coming in along with Gladjo. Now Berg comes in. Check it now, number 21. It is Dick Berg in to do the kicking. High pass from center, and the kick is partially blocked. It's going to be a short one. It takes a Notre Dame roll. It's inside the 40. It's finally killed on the 37-yard line of Purdue. That kick was partially blocked, brought about by the fact it was only a 10-yard kick. It was a high pass from center and almost blocked.
Now the Irish have got another big break, and you just can't fail to cash in on these too often. Certainly moving down the field twice for field goal attempts. Notre Dame now has the ball with a 1st and 10 coming up at the Boilermaker 38-yard line. And this is one of the real breaks in the football game, Van, as the Irish line up with a 1st and 10 at that point.
And they go strong to the right now. They're flooding the right zone. Seymour's out wide to the right. And the give on the counter play this time is to Dennis Allen coming the other way, and he got it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Marie, number 74, in there to make the tackle. He weighs 272 pounds. He's 6'6", only a sophomore from South Carolina and still growing.
And believe me, Van, the surprising thing about it was he just hurdled 2 football players.
Ball on the 39, so he lost a yard. 2 flankers again. And here's Hanratty pitching out to Zimmerman. And Zimmerman cuts in at the 35. He's down to the 30. He's down to the 29-yard line before he's brought down. The tackle made by Mike Ray, a sophomore from Charlotte, number 48. And Zimmerman ripped it to the 29-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go for Notre Dame.
A great block on that play by Denny Allen. The little guy really laid it to Bob Yanaska.
With Seymour split out wide to the left. Hanratty on the call, and the give is to Gladjo. Gladjo's down to the 26-yard line. He'll have a 1st down for Notre Dame. Rogowski, the right end, is the man who made the tackle. And listen to this crowd now at Notre Dame. 1st down and 10 to go with the ball on the 26-yard line of the Purdue Boilermakers. It belongs to Notre Dame with 12 minutes and 20 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. And Purdue leading by a score of 3-0. Seymour's flanked out to the left. Gladjo is deployed out to the right. In the I formation now with Allen, the top of the I, right behind the quarterback. Quarterback Hanratty is the fullback Zimmerman. Hanratty is back to throw. He looks. He throws to Seymour. It's over his head. He was wide open on the 5-yard line, and he overthrew him a little bit on that one. Hanratty had an open field had he elected to run with the ball.
Tim Foley was following him, but Foley was about 3 steps behind him. How he ever beat this defensive back that far, I'll never know. But then I can't fathom this fella Seymour anyway. He's got great moves.
2nd down and 10. And now Allen is flanked out wide to the left. Seymour to the right. Hanratty on the keeper. Hanratty gets only a yard or 2 down to about the 23-yard line. Yancher, the left tackle, made the tackle. Now that was the keeper play, although Hanratty did have the option of tossing out to one of his backs, but they were pretty well covered, and he didn't want to take the chance, so he just kept the football and moved it to the 23-yard line. Seymour's flanked out wide to the right. Eaton is split out to the left. It's the I formation. Gladjo on the top of the I, and Hanratty is going back to throw. He's looking, he throws. It's completed on the 15-yard line to Eaton. He's at the 10, he's at the 9, and he had just gone into the ball game. And he was tackled in there right on the 9-yard line. Was it Weingarten? Weingarten it was, the tight end, who grabbed it on the 9-yard line, and coming back in here again is Dennis Allen, and Eaton is coming out. So give credit to Weingarten on that one. Weingartner made the reception. It's 1st down and goal to go on Notre Dame, in great field position now. Hanratty on the call. He gives to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman bounces off one man. He's down to the 7. Yanaska, the linebacker on the left side, made the tackle for Purdue. So mark the ball now on, let's call it the 7-yard line, and it will be 2nd down and goal to go for Notre Dame. Out of the huddle they come with 10 minutes and 25 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. Seymour's flanked out to the left. Weingarten, the tight end, is on the right side. Hanratty calling the signals. Hanratty on a give this time to Gladjo. Gladjo's to the 5, and he's stopped right on the 5-yard line. Gladjo on the carry. O'Reilly is the man who brought him down, and look here. Here comes Leroy Keys out in on defense.
He's coming in for one thing, and there's no doubt about it. You can figure on a 3rd down and over 5 yards, he's coming in to defend against Seymour. They're going to put him on Jim. We knew this was going to happen, at least. And sure enough, splitting out there is Seymour, and out to defend against him is Keys.
Hanratty on the call. Hanratty rolling out the right, pitches out there to Allen. Touchdown! Notre Dame. Well, I hope you can hear me above the 60,000 here at Notre Dame Stadium. Hanratty crossed up the Purdue defense. They were figuring he might be trying to hit Seymour, but instead he pitched out to Dennis Allen, Allen swept right in, moved in unmolested. Hempel's kick is up and good. And the score now is Notre Dame 7, Purdue 3. We'll be back with Notre Dame's kickoff in just a moment.
If there is one weakness in the Boilermaker attack, it would most assuredly have to be their offensive line. Coach Jack Mullenkopf lost 4 starters there. The defense lost both ends, and their all Big Ten tackle, Lance Olson. But with a strong reserve to draw from, the Purdue football team looks just about as strong and possibly even stronger than they were in 1967.
9 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first half. Waiting for the whistle. There it is. And now Lambert will move forward. And the kick. Straight down the field, down to Kirkpatrick. And he's back to the 10, 15 to the 20. And he is hit as he reaches the 26-yard line. The tackle is made in there by Tim Kelly of Notre Dame. Notre Dame moved 38 yards in 9 plays with Allen on a sweep going over the last 5.5. And I imagine Bill Etherton, the excitement now reigns supreme on that Notre Dame bench.
Man, it had ebbed and ebbed at the frustration and futility of the Irish to hit in pay dirt on field goals. But Al Wester, you know what I mean when I say it's like Mardi Gras, Van.
All ready to go now, and here's Mike Phipps going back to throw, throws over the middle. It's caught on the 37-yard line. And the reception is made right there by Dillingham, number 82, from London, Ohio. And he was falling as he caught the ball on the 37. It's a first down for Purdue. So the Boilermakers, coached by Jack Mullenkopf, are coming right back here. This was said to be the football game of the year, and it certainly well may be before it's over. Notre Dame leading by a score of 7-3. Purdue back in the huddle. Mike Phipps, the junior from Columbus, Indiana, 6'3", 205, running the ball club. And now Purdue has called timeout with a score, Notre Dame 7, Purdue 3.
Well, most assuredly, the defense is going to have to watch this big second string left end, Bob Dillingham of Purdue. He is 6'2", 192-pound senior, and last week against Virginia caught 4 passes for 76 yards. That was second only to Keyes himself. Dillingham also caught 1 touchdown pass. He is dangerous. What a magnificent afternoon and what a magnificent football game. Purdue with a field goal starting the scoring and leading 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. Notre Dame, after a short punt by the Boilermakers, moved it right back down, put it into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Irish now lead by a score of 7-3. Purdue will put the ball in play on their own 38-yard line. Notre Dame has 175 yards offensively this afternoon. Purdue has 94 yards.
A very even ball game, I would say, Al, up to this point, actually, despite the 4-point lead of Notre Dame. Mark it on the 38, make it first down and 10 to go for Purdue, and put Leroy Keyes out wide to the right. Dillingham back with 1 setback, Perry Williams, and back goes Phipps to throw, cocks his arm, throws it, completed to Dillingham. He's at the 47-yard line and is brought down in Notre Dame territory, and he's getting that big tight end open.
Well, Van, I hadn't got it out of my mouth good before he went right back to Dillingham. Dillingham caught 4 passes, as we pointed out before. Last week against Virginia, 4 passes for 76 yards, second only to Keyes in receiving, and he caught 1 touchdown toss.
Here comes 2 members of the Notre Dame secondary. Out to cover Leroy Keyes. Phipps on to give to the fullback. William, check it. That was Kirkpatrick on the carry, and he moved it to about the 47. He got a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9 to go. Just about a yard on the play. Jokish, the defensive right tackle, 260-pound junior from Peoria, Illinois, made the tackle. Now Dillon in, and Williams is the setback, and back goes Mike Phipps again. Looking downfield, throws it. It's caught again by that tight end. And Dillingham grabs it on the 38. He's down on the 37-yard line. It'll be another first down for the Boilermakers, who are coming right back.
you've got to admit one thing. This fellow Phipps has really got an arm, and he is threading the needle in between Ernie Jackson and Tom Quinn. He is throwing right between them with tremendous precision. Phipps right now is 3 completions for 3.
Open on almost every play, while Keys is being used as a decoy. Here's a pitch back now to the halfback Kirkpatrick at east of the 36-yard line, getting about a yard on the play, and that's it. Brought down right on the 36-yard line of Notre Dame. Getting 1 yard, so make it now 2nd down and just about 9 yards to go. He has a decoy, is flanked out wide to the right. And Dillingham to the left, and back goes Phipps. Look at the time he's got. He throws it. It is incomplete. Intended for Dillingham again, but this time it's broken up by Nybert and Ernie Jackson. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Line of Notre Dame. Now Dillingham is flanked out wide to the left. Leroy Keys split to the right. 1 setback. It's Williams, and back goes Phipps. Cocks his arm, throws it to Keys. He's got it at the 25, and he's thrown down. On about the 27, Tom Quinn and Gasser made the tackle on him, but there was a big play for Purdue. The Boilermakers have a first down on the 25-yard line of Notre Dame.
Well, Keys did the little down and in, and he really poured the gas on the minute he cut the corner there and went inside. John Gasser was beat. Gasser tried 3 or 4 times before they throw the ball, but they'll throw it to him.
Ball on the 25, first down. Phipps is back. He's looking. Now he's going to run with the ball. He's at the 20. He's at the 18, and John Gasser made the tackle on Mike Phipps on the 18-yard line. A gain on the play of about 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Bill Etherton on the sideline.
John Pershing, a linebacker with Notre Dame 2 years ago and last year, now a member of the Los Angeles Rams. John Pershing, how does it look from here defensively for Notre Dame?
I think the defense is doing a real fine job. They're holding Keys down in the running game. When he flanks out, they're bringing a rover out to cover him. John Lavin, an inside linebacker, and they're double teaming him.
Back to Ben Patrick.
Here's the handoff to the fullback this time. Perry Williams trying to go straight ahead. Williams is to about the 16-yard line, and the tackle is made right there. And in there to make the tackle is Olson, along with Jokic, and they bring him down on the 16. So it'll be 3rd down, 5 minutes, 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half of the ball game. Notre Dame leading Purdue 7. The Boilermakers are down on the 16-yard line with 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
This is a big play. It's a big 3rd down and with just a couple of yards away, and at the 13, it's a tough one.
High formation. The pitch is to Keys. Keys gets a block. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Purdue. What a great running back he is, but he had some blocking there as he swept the Purdue left end. He went 16 yards for a touchdown, 73 yards in 10 plays. And now Jones will attempt the extra point. The kick is up, the kick is good. And the score now is Purdue 10, Notre Dame 7. We'll be back with Purdue's kickoff in just a moment.
Purdue coach Jack Mellencamp is the oldest active coach of a major college football team in America. Jack is 62 years old. We had the opportunity to talk with Coach Mellencamp last night at our weekly Notre Dame press dinner. And I might add that he named Notre Dame the #1 football team in the land, while Ara Parsegian called Purdue the #1. And both, I think, hope they're wrong.
Now Purdue will kick off to Notre Dame, and Allen, who scored the Notre Dame touchdown along with Gladjo, back in the safety spots, the deep spots, and Jones will kick off for Purdue. The Boilermakers lead 10-7, 5 minutes to play in the first at Notre Dame Stadium. Waiting now for the referee to move Jones forward and continue this football game here, and it's been jammed with excitement. Purdue taking the lead, losing the lead. Now they're leading again. There's the whistle. Here's the boot by Jones, and it's a good one. It's coming down to Allen. He takes it at the 4. He's back to the 10, 15, to the 20, 25. Fights his way forward to the 27-yard line, and the tackle is made right there. Mark it on the 28-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame from their own 28. Notre Dame back in the huddle. Hanratty is at the quarterback. Jim Seymour, Weingardner in there at the ends. Riley and Coons at the tackles. DiNardo and McKinley at the guards. Seymour split out to the right. Zimmerman, the fullback, is set back along with Allen. Hanratty rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. He throws one. It's caught by Seymour at the 40. He's at the 45. He's out of bounds in front of the Notre Dame bench on the 46-yard line. Hanratty doing a good job of faking and setting up the play and getting Seymour open. And Seymour has caught 3 passes today. It's a first down for Notre Dame on the Notre Dame 46-yard line. And now the Irish are coming right back, and it's going to be that type of a ball game all afternoon. There's no question about it. Notre Dame out of the huddle again. That sends Seymour out wide. Setbacks. In the slot is Gladjo, the balanced line. And here's the give on the counter now to Gladjo. And Gladjo's to the 49-yard line with it. And the tackle is made right there. Parasika's made the tackle, along with Wergowski, the right end. So mark it on the 49-yard line. Right. Gladjo's in the slot to the right. The I formation, the top of the I is Allen. Right behind the quarterback, Hanratty, is Zimmerman. And the give fake now to Gladjo. Hanratty throws a pass. It's incomplete. Intended for Gladjo in the right flat and incomplete. So that'll bring it back to the 49-yard line again, where it'll be third down and 7 to go. Van Patrick along with Bill Etherton and Al Wester from Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana. Hanratty has 5 out of 8 today for 72 yards. The game being Gladjo flanked out wide to the right. Seymour is split to the left. Hanratty on the call. He's got 3rd and 7. Hanratty rolling to the right, looking for a receiver. The pass is intercepted by Purdue at the 45, at the 40, down to the 30. Goes Yanaska with it. And Yanaska is tackled on the 30-yard line and brought down. The pass was deflected by Bill McCoy, the defensive end. Yanaska, the linebacker, picked it off and ran it down to the 30-yard line, and how the tide of this ball game has changed quickly. And now the Purdue Boilermakers with a first down on the Notre Dame 30-yard line. And this should serve to inspire the Boilermakers there, Bill Atherton.
Then indeed, Dick Marble from Purdue went a mile in the sky off the ground as he saw that interception. Van Patrick.
Keys to the right. Phipps back to throw. He's looking. He throws one. It is caught. This one's caught at the 30-yard line by Kirkpatrick. He's at the 20-yard line and pulled down by John Gasser. Mike Phipps not wasting any time. He's leading by a score of 10-7, but he just goes right to the air again. And he hit Kirkpatrick that time on a little Z pattern coming in there into that secondary. So mark the ball on the 21-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9 on the play, and 2nd down and 1 to go. So Phipps wants to quickly take advantage of the Notre Dame mistake.
Notre Dame at the moment with the front wall of Chuck Lauk, Bob Kuchenberg at the ends, Bob Jokic, and Mike Olson and Kelly.
Here's the I formation, and the give is to the fullback. Perry Williams rips across to the 17-yard line and picks up Purdue's 9th first down. 3 minutes and 18 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half of the ball game. Phipps has completed 5 out of 6 for 65 yards. To give you an idea of his efficiency in this ball game at Notre Dame. The ball is on the 17-yard line. Out of the huddle now, the Purdue Boilermakers. And they send Dillingham, that tight end, wide to the left. It's an I formation. The pitch is to Leroy Keys, who's going to pass. He throws one to Dillingham, and he has got it. Touchdown, Purdue. How do you like that? Leroy Keys throwing a pass to Dillingham, who was covered by 2 men. But he arched the ball perfectly in the corner of the end zone, and Dillingham picked it off. Now we'll have the try for point with Berg. Phipps will hold. 2:57 to go in the half. The ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score is Purdue 17, Notre Dame 7. We'll be back with Purdue's kickoff in just a moment.
Of the 59,000 in this stadium, there are no doubters, I believe, about the great ability of this fabulous backfield man, Leroy Quees. What a guy. He runs with the football. He plays the flanker. He plays the defense. And now you have just seen him spark Purdue to their second touchdown. A fabulous 17-yard heave to Dillingham for the score.
Kickoff. Allen and Gladjo are the deep men for Notre Dame. The Irish down by 10 points. Now let's see if they can come back again. Here's the high spinning kick. It's taken on the 15-yard line by Duchesne to the 20, to the 25, he's to the 28, and tackled on the 28-yard line. And the tackle was made by Emick right on the 28-29 of Notre Dame. So now Notre Dame with the football, first down and 10 to go. They have it on their own 29-yard line. Here's Terry Hanratty coming into the huddle. In other games, Minnesota leading Nebraska 7-0. First, wide to the left now is Allen, and here's Hanratty faking the draw, throws a swing pass to Gladjo. Gladjo's at the 30. He's at the 35-yard line and is tackled by Bill McCoy as he reaches the 35. A gain on the play of 6 yards. It'll be second down and 4 to go now for Notre Dame from their own 35. The Irish are trailing 17-7 to the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue ranked number 1 in the nation on the Associated Press poll, while on United Press poll today. Now Seymour coming out to the left along with Allen. The T formation. Notre Dame in the balance line, of course. Purdue with a 5-man defensive line. And here is the give to the halfback, Gladjo. Gladjo fumbles the ball, and Purdue has got it. The Boilermakers recovered the ball on the 41. Yanaska is the man who covered the ball. He's the man who intercepted the pass, and what a tremendous ball game he's having, and what a great break for the Purdue Boilermakers. They have the ball on the Notre Dame 41-yard line, and Gladjo,
backer of Purdue, went after that football like chicken on Sunday.
Leroy Keys put out to the right. Mike Phipps is back, cocks his arm, throws one deep. It is caught. Caught by that tight end, Dillingham, and they haven't been able to do a thing with him all afternoon. He's got a first down on the 16-yard line. He has caught 5 passes.
Sophomore Ernie Jackson is giving this big boy Dillingham too much room. He's not playing him tight. That happens when a sophomore is playing that deep back there. He is just not getting in on him, and consequently he's giving him too much room. Dillingham is tearing them up over there on the left side.
They haven't been able to stop him all day. He's caught 5 passes. There's a timeout with the score, Purdue 17, Notre Dame 7.
A timeout down on the field, and I know a breather that is most important for both football clubs. I think probably the momentum of this football game changed considerably when Notre Dame grabbed a 7-3 lead, and Purdue moved right back down to score the touchdown and take the lead 10-7. They now lead 17-7.
Bob Olson, the co-captain of the Notre Dame team, had gone over to the sidelines. Purdue with the ball with a first down on the Notre Dame 16-yard line. And Purdue already leading by a score of 17-7, and now they're not only battling Notre Dame with the clock. They have a minute, 49 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half of this game. Next Saturday we'll be at Iowa City as Notre Dame battles the University of Iowa. So the Boilermakers go back in the huddle. Mike Phipps has 6 out of 7 for 90 yards. Now he sends Keys out with Dillingham to the right. In the slot is Kirkpatrick, and Phipps is going back to throw again. Cocks his arm, throws. It is caught for a touchdown by Dillingham. And a flag is down. But the penalty will be against Notre Dame. It's a touchdown, Purdue. Dillingham picked it off. Well, they still haven't been able to cover Dillingham. And this is one of the things that everybody was concerned about, the young secondary of Notre Dame. And Mike Phipps is just doing a surgeon's job. He's picking that secondary apart. Berg will attempt the extra point. A flag is down. Flag is down. Minute 44 seconds to go. Purdue leading 23-7. Kicked a field goal earlier in the ball game from 34 yards out. It's fumbled and no good. Keeper falls on the ball. So the score remains Purdue 23, Notre Dame 7. With 1 minute and 44 seconds. So let's go down now and see what we can find out about this Notre Dame team. Bill Etherton on the sideline.
Then they may be discouraged and downhearted right now, but there's a lot of conversation along the bench. We're going to come back. On the Purdue side, of course, they're duplicating that same thing like we're going to continue to pour it on. But as you and Al know, how a game can revolve around momentum and one little teeny tiny like a deflected pass and a fumble recovery. Back to you, Van.
There's the whistle, and here's the boot by Jones. Good end-over-end kick coming down to Allen. He takes it at the 7. He's back to the 10, 15, to the 20, 25. He's back to the 28-yard line with it and is brought down right there. In to make the tackle for the Purdue Boilermakers was B, and so mark it down the 28. Dillingham has caught 6 passes for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. There, calling the signals, Hanratty on the draw play this time to his halfback. And there's a play that worked only back to about the 27 with Dennis Allen carrying the ball. He's from Ashtabula, Ohio, a 19-year-old sophomore, 5'11", 190. Marked the ball on the 27. He lost a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 11 yards to go for Notre Dame. 1 minute and 20 seconds. And, of course, Notre Dame now will have to change all their game plan and will have to put that ball in the air as they trail 23-7. The I formation, Seymour to the right. In motion now goes Allen. Back goes Hanratty to throw. He throws to Seymour, and he's got it at the 44-yard line and is knocked out of bounds immediately by Tim Foley, the defensive halfback.
Van, if you notice the Purdue defense now, they've dropped back. They are willing to give Seymour the 5, the 10, the 15 yards, but they are definitely defending against him long. They now have the zone coverage on, strong on the right side, 2 men on.
Gladjoe's flanked out wide to the right, Seymour to the left. Allen in motion out to the right. Dushan is in there at fullback. The pass is thrown. It is intercepted by Purdue. It bounces right out of the hands of the Boilermakers. And Gladjoe picked it off for Notre Dame. Now there's a very unusual play. O'Reilly of Purdue intercepted the ball. It skidded right out of his hands and into the hands of Gladjoe. And Notre Dame calls timeout with 52 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half, and Purdue leading 23-7. Let's go down now to Bill Etherton.
That was the most fantastic thing I've ever seen, Van. And Tom O'Leary, a halfback at Notre Dame last year, now playing with the pros, looked at me and said in disbelief, I can't accept it. He didn't really get that time. And the Irish are practicing now, but they have worked on many, many days and many, many hours. That 2-minute drill to get into pay dirt, get on the scoreboard in the late moments of a half or a quarter. Let's see if they can, Van.
All right, with a first down on the 45-yard line of Purdue, and of course with only 52 seconds to go, Hanratty, of course, now would like to hit on that bomb because 7 points would put Notre Dame right back in this ball game, and that's what Arapar Segan and his coaching staff would like to do. Hanratty and Weingartner had come over to the sidelines, and now it's Tom Eaton. And Eaton is going in there, and they're getting 3 ends in. Dennis Allen is coming out, and they're getting 3 ends, and right here, Al, is where he'd like to hit that bomb.
Well, this is a flood action now. You'll put everything out there to try to catch it he possibly can. And I have a feeling that this little fellow who's walking along down the sidelines in his navy blue and gold outfit, Coach Arapar Segan, has something cooked up for just such a circumstance.
Eaton is flanked out wide to the left. One setback is Ducheny, the fullback, and Hanratty rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver. He throws one to Seymour, just out of his reach on the 10-yard line. Just out of his reach. Hanratty had to pull the trigger just a little too soon. His aim was off. The clock is stopped. And the Notre Dame going back to the huddle again. And Fred, 8:10 to go. Seymour out wide to the left, along with Eaton. And here's Hanratty rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver. He throws one. It is completed out there to Tom Eaton, number 89, the sophomore from Lancaster, Ohio. And so that will stop the clock now with the ball on about the 30-yard line as Notre Dame called the timeout with 36 seconds to go. They have a first down on the 30-yard line of the Purdue Boilermakers. First period, Oklahoma 6, North Carolina State nothing. Second period, Michigan 14, Duke 7. Al?
One thing that Purdue does not want to do is have to go one-on-one against Seymour. 2 plays ago, they did have to end up with this. Seymour faked in, then went to the outside on the fly pattern, and he had Bino Paraskevas along with him. Well, this is something the Boilermakers want no part of. They've got to have 2 men on Seymour at all times, and while they're willing to give away the short yardage, they most assuredly don't want one-on-one for the long play, because this fella has a great pair of hands. And don't for one moment think, because the score is 23-7 Purdue, that this football game is one-sided. It is not. The Notre Dame offense is a great one. It was proven last week against Oklahoma, and I think we'll see a lot more football in the second half with action, with scores going on that board, possibly for both clubs. Notre Dame will have to play catch-up football in the second half, so that means simply this: they'll have to do away with what they originally had as a game plan.
Seymour and Gladjo flanked out to the right. Eaton, who just got the pass for the first down, is to the left. 36 seconds to go in the first half. Hanratty on the call, rolling out to the right. He's being rushed. He looks, he throws. It is incomplete. Down on the 16-yard line, intended for Tom Eaton, who was covered by 4 Purdue Boilermakers. He just had no chance to get to that one. The incomplete pass stops the clock. 30 seconds to go. Purdue leading 23-7 over Notre Dame. The Irish trying to get on that scoreboard to get back in the ball game. They're back in the huddle again. They've got just a half minute before the end of the half. Hanratty looking over that defense, and they have 4 men up front to rush Hanratty's passes. And now Eaton is flanked to the left. Seymour split out to the right. In motion goes Gladjo. Hanratty going back to throw again. He's looking, he throws, and this one is batted away and almost intercepted by Leroy Keys, who's doing a great job out there for the Purdue Boilermakers offensively and defensively. His job was to cover Seymour, and he had him covered like a blanket.
A great burst of speed there. What he did was give Seymour what appeared to be 2 steps on him. But this fellow is so fast that Seymour appeared to be open. He drew the throw from Hanratty down about the 15-yard line.
3rd down and 10 to go. 24 seconds of playing time remaining. Hanratty with 2 flankers again. Seymour to the right. In motion again goes Gladjo. Hanratty is going back to throw. He throws a swing pass. It's completed out there to Gladjo, but he couldn't quite hang on to it. He didn't hang on to it long enough to be ruled a completion. It'll be 4th down and 10 with 18 seconds of playing time remaining in this ball game. So the ball goes back to the 30-yard line again. 4th and 10 for Notre Dame. 23-7, Purdue leading. Stay with us at halftime. The Notre Dame band, the Purdue band, we have a special surprise guest for you at halftime. Ball on Seymour and Gladjo wide to the right. Eaton is split to the left, along with Weingarten, the tight end. Weingarten split out to the left. Here's Hanratty rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. He's going to run with the ball. He's at the 25, the 20, the 15. He is knocked out of bounds by Leroy Keys on the 13-yard line. He ran out of sideline. He might have been able to carry it in.
A great run there and a great way of thinking for a quarterback. Hanratty saw that he had all of the opportunities to run with the football after he'd rolled wide to the far sidelines. He realized that those linebackers were moving in. They were doubling every possible pass receiver. He was threatening all the way. He had the football up at his air on 2 occasions, and then he elected to run with it, and Notre Dame ends up with a 1st down on the 14-yard line.
And this might be the last play of this first half, and let's see what happens. Purdue has called timeout with only 10 seconds of playing time remaining, and the score is Purdue 23, Notre Dame 7. And I don't feel that Notre Dame will go for any 3 in a situation like this, Al, trailing 23-7, and they have time for just about one more play.
Van, I'd like to point out that Hanratty has run 4 times today for a total of 30 yards. And this fellow will run on you at any given time. He's just tremendous on that. He's a very fine passer, a very fine quarterback. A lot of breaks have gone against him today, fumbles, interceptions, but this is a keyed-up Purdue football team. I can't remember when I've seen a college football team quite as high as Purdue is at the moment. And right down there at the 14-yard line, Purdue right up at the line of scrimmage with a group talking. The Irish are back at the 25-yard line. They've got a 1st down coming up at the Purdue 14, but look at that clock. 10 seconds is all that remains in the first half. Of course, the big boost for this Irish football team would be able to get a score, to be able to get a score before halftime. That's a boost for any football team, and I'm sure that down on the sidelines, Coach Parsekian is walking along those sidelines. He's never still. He's always up and down the sidelines, a little guy. He's got his play card in his left hand, constantly looking at the variety of several dozen plays that he has to.
Now Eaton is out wide to the left. Seymour split to the left. In the slot is Gladjo. And Hanratty is rolling out to the left now, looking for a pass receiver. Gets away from one man. Throws. Touchdown! Notre Dame! Completed number 89, Hanratty with only 3 seconds to go. And he had to get rid of that ball. He was dancing away from the Purdue tacklers. He finally saw Tom Eaton alone in that end zone. And he fired a perfect strike to the sophomore end. And here's the kick. It's up. It's good. And the score is Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14 with only 3 seconds to go. And the Irish are right back in the ball game.
What a football game. This is exactly what Ara Parsekian would have written had he been able to write it into the books the way he wanted it. 3 seconds on the west side of the stadium, looking across into the east stands. 59,000 plus strong here at Notre Dame and Purdue. The kickoff.
The onside kick. And the ball did not go. I don't believe it went to 10 yards, or did it? No, it went about 9. And they were trying the onside kick with Coley O'Brien. And so the ball went only about 9 yards. So the officials are going to place it down on the 48-yard line of Notre Dame. Leroy Keys out to the left. And Dillingham is put out to the left. And here's Mike Phipps. He's going back to throw. He's looking for a receiver. He throws the home run ball deep. It is incomplete. Almost intercepted by John Gasser. And there's the gun. That's the end of the first half with the score. Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14.
What a football game and what an afternoon. This is the 40th meeting of Notre Dame and Purdue. The Irish lead with 23 wins to 14 for the Boilermakers. 2 of these games have ended in ties. The most points scored by Notre Dame against Purdue is in 1946. The Irish won that game 49-6. Purdue's biggest victory came in 1960, and it was by a score of 51-19. Only 3 times in 39 meetings has Notre Dame been held scoreless. The Boilermakers have been shut out a total of 7 times. The last time in 1957 when the Irish won that game 12-0. Of course, both teams are on the scoreboard. It's Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14 here at halftime, so there's no shutout in this ball game. The series has been uninterrupted since 1946.
It's halftime at Notre Dame Stadium. Purdue leading 23-14. Let's go right down to the sidelines and Bill Etherton.
And Patrick, down here, the team has just left the field. The Purdue band is ready to come out. And standing on my left is the legendary figure of Notre Dame, Pat O'Brien. Pat, I know that you were jumping and leaping with jubilation a moment ago with that final touchdown catch.
Well, it's a good thing I came down the field, isn't it? Less than 10 seconds ago. Well, that was the old the spirit of Rockney peeking right through my skull, and they made it. It's wonderful. That Eaton, the guy made a catch there from. It was just wonderful. Of course, I'm a little breathless about the whole game, but I think we'll. In the second half, our secondary will work better, and we're going to go all right.
Pat, would you take us back to several years ago, and would you give us what Rock might say briefly in the stadium right now, in the locker room?
Well, I probably would say I want the backfield, hit that line, right side, left, right, left. They can't stop us. Purdue can't stop us. SC can't stop us. Nobody can stop us. I want you to go down that field, right down that field, and win by 10.
That's wonderful, and I hope they do. You have been traveling around the country on a football motion picture, have you not, the project?
No, I did it all here. But they actually, the documentary will be about all the different schools, but naturally the big payoff was Notre Dame.
What's it all about?
History of football. Very beginning, when Rutgers played Princeton and on through the years, and then they have various, interviews with high school boys and what it means to them to play, and proving that it's not only a body contact game, but many of the boys on these teams are Rhodes Scholars, Phi Beta Kappas, everything else.
I know that Ara Parsekian has a prominent part in this documentary.
Yes, he has, and he has a wonderful interview. I can't disclose what it is. You'll have to wait to see it.
Pat, let me ask you this. What in your heart, your feeling, in your association with football motion pictures do you feel is the great contribution of football to youth?
Well, Canute Rockney. Is that what you mean? Was that the question? Sure. Canute Rockney, All-America, was a great honor and a great privilege. And you don't draw them like that very often, you know. And, of course, Notre Dame is so close to my heart that we're going to win today. That's how close it is.
We're talking to Pat O'Brien here at halftime with the Purdue band serenading in the background. I'll remind you now that the score here at Notre Dame Stadium is Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14 at halftime.
In their opener last week at Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue demolished the University of Virginia 44-6. Leroy Keys made one touchdown on a 3-yard plunge. He passed 12 yards to Bob Dillingham for another. In an unusual play in that ball game, middle guard Chuck Kyle blocked the Virginia field goal attempt, and in Bill McCoy grabbed that loose ball and raced 78 yards for a touchdown. It shows we think about it.
Pat O'Brien here with me, Bill Etherton on the sidelines at Notre Dame Stadium. The Purdue band in the background. And Pat, I think in closing, there's a very precious blessing which is close to your heart. Would you leave us with that?
Well, it's translated from the Gaelic. It's an actuality a benediction. May God sleep on your pillow. May he hold you in the hollow of his hand. May the roads rise up to meet you. Fair weather to your heels. May the wind be ever at your backs. May you be a long time in heaven before the devil knows you're gone, and may the wind be at Notre Dame's back the second half.
Pat O'Brien, the great Pat O'Brien, here on the sidelines here at halftime. Tom O'Leary, who was a great halfback at Notre Dame last year, has graduated now, is standing with me too. And Tom, may I ask you a brief comment about the head-to-head duel you had last year with Leroy Keys and what you think of this great Purdue player?
I have a lot of respect for Leroy Keys. He's a good athlete. His hands, his speed, just terrific. I think the biggest thing when you're guarding Leroy Keys, you have to remember, just respect his speed. He'll get you going down, he'll go down and out on his patterns. You need to play him pretty tight, but just don't let him get that. Don't let him go down, out, and down on you. I can just hear Coach Schultz telling me that don't let him go down on me.
What do you think they're saying in the locker room right now?
I think they're pretty happy after getting that going on board right there at the end of the half, and I think they just realize now that just this is their this second half just has to be their half.
Tom O'Leary, halfback in the secondary of Notre Dame last year. Purdue band, the great band, one of the finest in college ranks all across the country, with a young lady as the golden girl from Mishawaka, Indiana. And the halftime score here at Notre Dame Stadium is Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14. Now back to Van Patrick in the booth.
We're going to take a break now in our halftime activities to bring you the latest news. We'll be back here in South Bend in 5 minutes. This is Van Patrick along with Al Wester. Bill Etherton speaking to you from the Notre Dame Stadium at South Bend, Indiana. It's halftime, Purdue leading Notre Dame by a score of 23-14. And the Notre Dame band is coming out on the field right now. And let's go down to the sideline and pick up some of the music and talk with Bill Etherton.
Well, the Irish band has another outstanding program planned here. And what's going to happen in the beginning, the Irish will salute the non-academic campus establishments as seen through the eyes of the student body, and the company front will go to the Indiana State March. Bob O'Brien, the Notre Dame band director, down to our immediate left. Let's listen. Bob O'Brien, the band director of the University of Notre Dame, is standing right beside me. And Bob, let me ask you about a big drum that you were working on this week. How big and from where and what about it?
Well, this drum is almost 11 foot high, and we received it from Drumland, was in West Palm Beach, Florida. This drum was made for the movie The Music Man, and we happened to inherit it.
Bob, you've told me many times, I think our listeners all across the country and around the world via the Armed Forces Radio Network would like to know something about the very, very tough and rigorous and tedious practice that you people go through, along with Purdue bands and other great bands across the country, in getting together these halftime shows. First, may I ask you how you select a theme or decide on a program?
Well, this starts quite early, maybe in May or June, and these are involve us all through the spring and the summer, and then it's put on paper and mapped out, and then, of course, when the student gets back, we're ready for rehearsals.
You practice more times a day than the football team does, don't you?
We put in at least as much time as the varsity squad, and you just have to do it either football or music. It takes practice.
Bob, what's the most memorable halftime program in your memory here at Notre Dame?
Well, to me, every game is a crisis. Everyone is memorable, and you live.
You sound like Eric Parsegian right now when I ask him that same question.
Well, I think all of them are memorable when they're successful, and when they're unsuccessful, no one will let us forget them.
So that's about all I can say about it. Bob, congratulations on a fine job, and to those in the Purdue band across the field. That is a great one also, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful band, a wonderful group of people.
Bob O'Brien, Notre Dame band director. We are listening to the Irish band perform here on the field, down on the sidelines right now. Both teams still in the locker room, and the activity along the sidelines, after being feverish and frantic all through the game, has started to slow down just slightly here at halftime, to resume very soon in about 5 more minutes. Now, back to the booth and Van Patrick.
And once again, the score here at halftime is Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14. You know, you do much of your driving today on modern turnpikes over longer stretches at higher speeds. And modern cars are built to handle it. So it makes sense to drive on tires also specially designed for modern driving. Radial tires. And the leading maker of radials is BF Goodrich with the BFG Silvertown radial. Built different to give a high-speed ride so smooth you hardly believe it. To handle easier and provide more positive driving control on fast turnpike trips. Good reasons to try the BFG Silvertown radial today. Halftime, here's Al Western.
And very quickly, I'd like to say hello to an old friend, Bob Gorham, Public Relations Director at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. And Bob, both these teams have some great horses, too.
That's for sure, Al. We certainly are looking for you and Van down at the Kentucky Derby this coming May also.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, and it's always a pleasure to see you on the golf tour so many, many times. Why, we have shared many, many nights and many afternoons of great golf.
Well, thank you, Al, very much. It's nice to be in a mutual booth with you today.
Across behind Van there in the booth with us is the publisher of the Football News, Mr. Roger Stanton. And Rog, want to sneak down here for a quick hello? I'd like to get your opinions as a football man and publisher of the Football News on this game.
Al, kind of a surprise to see Purdue has such a commanding lead. It's 23-14. They take advantage of the breaks here this afternoon to take a big lead over Notre Dame. But I kind of think the Fighting Irish, by scoring that touchdown just before the end of the first half, are going to make a ball game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame wins the game.
You know, Rog, your paper, the Football News, has certainly become popular in my hometown. Down in New Orleans, it's just about #1 when it comes to sports reading.
It's very nice of you to say that, Al. Of course, New Orleans is the top football city in the country, in our opinion. They certainly supported the Saints, and it's good to see the Saints winning some games.
Well, Raj, I guess down on the bench and down in the dressing room right now, not on the bench, but in the dressing room, I suppose the coaching staff of Notre Dame is hoping for a second half like last week. There were 35 points scored in the first half last week, and Notre Dame went in at halftime leading 21-14. Here they go into the halftime dressing room with just 2 points more on the scoreboard, 37 total, but they're trailing 23-14.
Well, that Terry Hanratty throwing the ball to Jim Seymour and those other fine receivers, they can really eat up those scores, and I'm sure they can make 10 points real fast, Al.
Raj, thanks so much. Here's Purdue coming back on the field. Let's pick up the Notre Dame band. At Holiday Inn here in South Bend this morning, we had breakfast with the Newt Rockne family, and the grandsons of the great coach, former great coach of Notre Dame, are certainly great youngsters. We had a pleasure being with them, meeting their parents, and it's always a double pleasure to be there. And also, at halftime, as you heard from Bill Etherton down on the field, we had the Irishman who portrayed Newt Rockne, Pat O'Brien. Pat was upstairs earlier here in our booth chatting with us, along with the athletic director of Notre Dame, Ed Moose Krause. Out on the field, the students of Notre Dame, and a great sign, a large sign held by 4 youngsters. They're on the shoulders, 2 on the shoulders of 2 others. It says, "Get one for the Gipper." (23-14) is the halftime score. Very quickly, some of the statistics on this first half. Notre Dame with 15 first downs to Purdue's 11. Notre Dame gained 133 yards rushing to Purdue's 56. Notre Dame gained 135 yards passing, Purdue 162. Total offense, Notre Dame 268, Purdue 218. The Irish had a total of 49 offensive plays in the first half. 33 were handled by Purdue. In just a moment, we'll have the kickoff for the second half.
When you put radial tires on your car, you put 35% more rubber on the road and get almost incredible traction, even on wet roads. You stop faster, surer than ever before. You get up to 15,000 more miles than with ordinary tires. Even get up to 10% better gas mileage. You're driving in the radial age on BF Goodrich Silvertown Radial 990 tires with Dynacore Rayon cord. Silvertown Radial 990s, only at BF Goodrich.
It's radial age, now the world is safer on a great new tire. It's the radial age, BF Goodrich boosts your mileage so much higher. It's the radial age, it's the radial age.
BFG Silvertown Radial tires are available at BF Goodrich stores and dealers across the country.
Purdue has taken the field. They will receive. The Irish at the north end now are accepting the ball from the referee, and they're setting it down, placing it up on the tee for the kickoff. 23-14, the Boilermakers of Purdue lead the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame on a magnificent afternoon here in South Bend, Indiana. Al Wester, along with the sports voice of Notre Dame, Van Patrick, and Bill Etherton down on the sidelines.
Notre Dame trailing 23-14, 9 points. Will have to kick off. Kirkpatrick is the deep man. Lambert boots it right to Kirkpatrick at the 3. He's back to the 10, the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and goes on to the 27 before he's brought down. And Lambert, who kicked off, is the man who made the tackle. So make it first down and 10 to go now for Purdue from their own 27-yard line. Just getting underway in the third quarter here at Notre Dame Stadium. Next Saturday it'll be Iowa, the Hawkeyes against the Fighting Irish. They mark the ball on the 28 officially, so make it first down and 10 to go for Purdue. Quarterback is Mike Phipps. Perry Williams, the big fullback, is the setback. And back goes Phipps. He's wasting no time again. He throws one. It is caught by that big tight end again, Dillingham. And he's got it on the 39-yard line and is tackled immediately. And a gain on the play for a first down. And that's 7 catches for Dillingham, and they just haven't figured out how to stop him yet. And you got to give Mr. Phipps quite a bit of credit, Al. He's not going to sit on any 9-point lead. He's going to the air. The ball on the 39-yard line. Phipps back to throw again. He's getting a lot of time. Dillingham has got it again. He's down on the 49-yard line with it this time. And Phipps moving this Purdue ball club steadily down the field. We may get time here to take a measurement. Dillingham goes over to the sideline. The coach says something to him. Dillingham is 6'2", 192-pound senior from London, Ohio, and what a day he's having. It is first down and 10 to go with the ball on the 49-yard line. Hopping only one man off to cover him. Back goes Phipps again, throwing one. It is completed, incomplete. Let's see what he's going to call it. Did he get it inbounds? He did. And he's whistling it back, though. He just didn't have it for possession. Back on the 49, Kirkpatrick was the intended receiver, and he just didn't hang on to it, and he stepped out of bounds anyway. So the ball back on the 49. Coming in now is Randy Cooper, and Dillingham is going out. Cooper's a sophomore from Lima, Ohio, replacing Dillingham at that split end. And Cooper's flanked out wide to the right. Leroy Keys is split to the left. And the setback is Perry Williams, and back goes Phipps to throw again. He's getting time. He throws one deep, and look out. It's thrown over the head of Randy Cooper. He got behind the secondary there of Notre Dame, and that was Don Reed in there playing deep and going back with him, but Cooper got behind him, but the pass was overthrown. Al?
Phipps has completed 9 of 11 so far. Here in the end zone, and Dillingham got it.
3rd and 10 from the 49. Phipps is back again. He throws. It's caught again on the 40-yard line. And the tackle is made in there by Notre Dame. Gasser made the tackle on the 39-yard line, and it was Dillingham, and that almost goes without saying. Third quarter, West Virginia 17, Pittsburgh 7. First down again for Purdue with the ball on the split end out there. Dillingham picking it off. And now Keys flanked out to the left again, and back goes Phipps to throw once more. Gets time once more. Throws one. It is incomplete. And knocked out of the hands of Leroy Keys. Fine defensive play on the part of Notre Dame. And in there to knock it out of his hands.
Jim Sheehan down there, Van, doing a beautiful job of covering. He was one-on-one and down the sideline. Sheehan had gone over, and actually he made contact with.
Leading 23-14, 13-24 to go. Second and 10 for Purdue. Phipps back to throw again. Cocks his arm, throws it, intercepted by Notre Dame. Notre Dame Fighting Irish intercepting the ball. It's intercepted by Neidert, the linebacker, the right outside linebacker, and listen to this crowd at Notre Dame now. He intercepted the ball on the 29-yard line and was tackled immediately. And now Notre Dame taking over, first down and 10 to go from their own 29 after the Boilermakers. It moves steadily down the field from their own 28 down to the 29-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 to go, and play is resumed from the 29-yard line of Notre Dame. The Irish back in the huddle. They have Allen and Gladjo and Zimmerman, and the quarterback is Hanratty. Seymour and Weingartner in there. They have Riley and Coons at the tackles, DiNardo and McKinley at the guards, Monty at the center. Offensively, they've been operating very well today, and they're just about on even terms with Purdue. As a matter of fact, they outrushed them, but they're trailing 23-14. There's a timeout on the field with the score: Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14. Quarterback is Hanratty, Zimmerman, and Allen the setbacks. In the slot is Gladjo. Hanratty on the call, and he gives it off to Zimmerman. Zimmerman's at the 35-yard line with it. Getting 6 on the play, Yanaska made the tackle for Purdue. Yanaska, Kyle, Paraskevas backing up the line. Foley, Webster, and O'Reilly in that secondary along with Mike Ray. They have McCoy, Yancher, Marie, and Wergowski up front defensively for Purdue. So it will be second down and 4, the only flanker, and split out to the right. Allen is in the slot to the right. Hanratty on the call. Zimmerman a setback, and the pitch is to Gladjo. Gladjo cutting back, and he's dropped as he reaches the 38-yard line by Chuck Kyle, the middle backer who tripped him up. He's a senior from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. They have third down coming up, and they're just short of a first down. Let's call it third down and a long one to go. 12 and a half minutes of playing time remaining here in the third quarter. Purdue with a 9-point lead over Notre Dame. The Irish out of the huddle. Line up in the T formation this time with Seymour split out to the left. Now it's the I formation, and the give is to Gladjo to the 40, and he has a first down. And Chuck Kyle is the man who made the tackle again. A first down for Notre Dame. You'll hear that crowd in a moment when the official indicates it, and there it is. The ball is midway between the sideline stripes on the Notre Dame 40-yard line. It is first down and 10 to go for the to the right as the flanker. Weingartner, the tight end, on the left side. Hanratty calling the signals. He's got Zimmerman as a setback, and he goes back to throw, looking for a receiver. He throws to Seymour at the 50. Seymour's at the 45. Seymour's at the 40. He's knocked out of bounds on the 39-yard line. And the All-American end, Jim Seymour, who owns all the pass reception records at Notre Dame, grabs another. First down. He stepped out of bounds on the 40. He gained 20 yards on the play.
The Purdue defense now is beginning to change their tactics, Van. They're not putting the pressure on. Hanratty had all day to throw that pass. Their 4-man pass rush is not being blocked out that effectively. And with plenty of time to throw, this fella Hanratty will find Jim Seymour somewhere.
Seymour flanked out to the right. Allen split to the left. Here's Hanratty going back to throw. The pressure's on now. He throws. It's completed. To Weingartner. He's at the 30. He's down to the 29. He's knocked out of bounds on the Purdue 29-yard line, and the Irish are coming back at South Bend. First down and 10 to go with the ball on the Purdue 29. Listen to that cheering section down below us now. First and 10 on the Purdue 29-yard line. 11 and a half minutes of playing time remaining in the third quarter. And now Notre Dame working smoothly and methodically, moving down the field with Seymour flanked out to the right. Allen is split to the left. Gladjo and Zimmerman, and the give is to Gladjo. He's got blocking. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He is down to the 16-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds by Mike Ray. And the Fighting Irish, coached by Ara Parsegan, are battling the very battle of their lives to get back in this ball game. They're trailing 23-14. and they have it on the 16-yard line of Purdue. They have it first down and 10 to go.
A beautiful tackle trap play there. Alex Davis crossed the line, and before he knew it, he was going south in a hurry. Great trap play. Offense out in front there of the runner with plenty of opportunity for ground.
Hanratty on the call again, and he gives it off once more to his halfback, Allen. Allen is down to the 15, possibly to the 14. Yaneska, the linebacker on the left side, is the man who moved in there to make the tackle, number 22, and they're going to mark it on the 16-yard line. They're going to mark it on the 16, so he got just about a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9 to go for Notre Dame. They have the ball. Midway goes outside Seymour. It's the I formation with a balanced line. Purdue with a 5-2 defense. And here's Hanratty rolling out to the right. Gets a block. Looks. Throws into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. No, he couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold it. Gladjo had the ball in his hands, and Webster was contesting with him, and he just couldn't hold it. It juggled right out of his hands. It looked like a...
This young man scored 3 touchdowns against Oklahoma last week, and I know if there is a heartbroken football player at the moment, it is Bob Allen.
All right, now the ball with a 3rd and 9 on the 16-yard line. Notre Dame just missing on a touchdown. Hanratty's back to throw. He's being rushed. He's going to have to get rid of that ball. He cocks his arm. He throws. It is incomplete. Incomplete in the end zone. Let's go to the sidelines now and Bill Etherton.
And on the far side of the field, the Purdue bench resembles a beehive as Jack Malenkoff, famous for many years for his great defensive football teams, is finding the Notre Dame offense of pass and run a little too much right now. Ron Meyer and Bob DeMoss in the press box frantically trying to find...
2 or 23. The ball is spotted by Hanratty. The kick is up. It's in that direction. It is. Wait a minute. Let's wait. It's no good. He just missed it again. He just missed it again. So we'll be back in just a moment. Purdue stopping Notre Dame on the 20, and here's the give now to Kirkpatrick, and Kirkpatrick is caught from behind on the 25-yard line, and then they're making the tackle right on the 25-yard line was Olson, so mark it second down now and 5 yards to go. 2nd and 5 with the ball on the 25-yard line. Purdue. Now Keys is split out wide to the right. The give is to the fullback this time. Williams, and Williams is up to the 30. He's to the 32. And Don Reed is the man who made the tackle. And now Notre Dame is going to be forced to contain the running game of Purdue as the Boilermakers, who were taking to the air at the beginning of this half, are now sticking on the ground with 9:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they are leading by now Kirkpatrick, and the fullback is Perry Williams. And the pitch is to Kirkpatrick, and he's trying to turn the corner, and look at the blocking he's got. He's at the 50. He's at the 45. He's at the 35. He's at the 30. He's finally knocked out of bounds on the Notre Dame 29-yard line by Nybert and Kelly. Jim Kirkpatrick, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, went out of bounds on the 29-yard line, and he really, Al, had the blocking.
Believe me, there was no doubt about that. He had a hole there big enough to get through. 38 yards he romps on that run down to the Irish 29-yard line. So the running game...
Now Leroy Keys, the only flanker, wide to the left. The pitch is the fullback Williams. He's trying to turn the corner. He is tackled as he reaches the 26-yard line and knocked out of bounds after getting 3 yards. Knocked out of bounds. In there making the tackle was John Gasser, a junior from Logan, Ohio. Making the stop there for Notre Dame. Also in there for Notre Dame, number 41 is John Lavin, the linebacker on the right side. They'll mark it on the 26-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 to go now for the Boilermakers on the Notre Dame 26. Out of the huddle they come with Mike Frame, a South Bend boy, 210-pound senior playing the center. Roberts and Bilesma are the guards. Nuccio and King are the tackles. Griffin and Dillingham in there. Now Phipps is going over to the sidelines, and time has been called. So there's a timeout with a score. Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14. Leroy Keys out wide to the left. They're in the pro set with one flanker. Phipps calling the signals with the 2 setbacks, and he's going back to throw. Throws over the middle. It is caught on the 19-yard line by, you guessed it, Dillingham. Bob Dillingham is tackled by John Gasser. They're going to mark it dead on the 19-yard line. It's going to be mighty close for a first down. They may bring the chain in. Let's go to the sidelines and Bill.
I've noticed that Chick Lauk is staying on the sidelines, being replaced by Ed Villeman. Now, Lauk is not injured, but evidently the front four of Joe Yonto wants more pressure and more rush, and Johnny Ray has made that change at the defensive right flank position, and Billiman has been rushing pretty
for the I formation now as Phipps calls the signals. Quarterback sneak, and he dives in. He's got the first down. He hits down to about the 17-yard line and gets the first down for the Purdue Boilermakers. We've got 8 minutes and 27 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Purdue leading 23-14 over Notre Dame in a bruising battle here at South Bend today. Now Notre Dame trying to regroup their defense and stop this Purdue Boilermaker attack. They realize now if the Boilermakers cross that stripe again, they'll be in dire trouble here. And the pitch back to Leroy Keys. Keys is hit as he reaches the 15-yard line. Dropped on the 15-yard line. In there in that secondary making the tackle was Jim Sheehan from Bellevue, Washington, getting him from behind on the 15, a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 to go. The fabulous Leroy Keys, who does everything, and he's certainly in the balloting for the Heisman Trophy. He finished 3rd last year, and he and O.J. Simpson, along with quite a few other players, are expected to fight it out this year for that trophy. Now they have 2 to the left, 2 flankers to the left, and 1 split out to the right as Phipps takes the ball, goes back, gets time, throws, and it's caught at the 11-yard line. The catch is made by Kirkpatrick, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line. And bumped out of bounds there by Notre Dame's Neidert, the linebacker, and so place the ball on the 11 and make it 3rd down and just about 3 to go for the Boilermakers. Kirkpatrick, number 25, who's having a good day with the Boilermakers today. Little mix-up in the backfield there. They put Dillingham over on the right side. They got Griffin on the left side this time, the tight end. The pitch is back to Keys. Keys is caught, and I believe he's going to be mighty close for 1st down. He's down around the neighborhood of the 8-yard line, so we'll just have to wait and see. Bob Olson is the man who caught him, and the series of downs originated on the 17. Al?
Van, I think you'd boil this game down to one thing. The big plays, the key plays have been the 3rd down plays, and believe me, on 3rd down situations, Purdue has been absolutely fabulous this afternoon. They have gained yardage, short or long, on 3rd down plays. Now they're measuring for the 1st down here, and you'll find out in a moment if they've done it all over again. And if they have the 1st down, it will be inside the Notre Dame 10-yard line.
Top of that I formation is Keys. And it's a quarterback sneak again, and Phipps is hit. I don't know whether he made it or not, and I'll tell you, they're going to have to get the slide rule out there. Bob Olson led the charging defense of Notre Dame. He only needed a few inches, and once more, they'll get the slide rule out, Al.
Well, I've had the glasses on this one, and they caught him the minute he hit there, but they only needed maybe 3 or 4 inches there for the 1st and 10, and I believe that when the chain gang gets out there, why, we'll have another Purdue 1st down. That's bad news because the Irish will have then to defend with Purdue with a 1st and 10 on their own 7-yard line. First, no, they did not make it.
Well, Notre Dame stopped Purdue with just inches to go, and Mike Phipps couldn't get it over, and you can give Kuchenberg and Bob Olson a lot of credit as they led the defensive charge. So from the 7.5-yard line, it is Notre Dame's ball. After Joe split out to the right, they're in the I formation. Top of the I is Allen. Now he goes in motion to the right. And here's Hanratty going back to throw from his own end zone. He cocks his arm. He throws. It's caught by Seymour. Seymour gets a block. He's at the 30 and out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Hanratty went right back in the end zone to throw that one. And he is a riverboat gambler out there as he trails by 9 points, and the ball is on the 30-yard line. It's 1st down and 10 to go for Notre Dame, and that's 20 1st downs for the Irish today.
Van, talking about a riverboat gambler, there's one thing about Hanratty. He was playing with his own deck out there. He had all day to throw that football.
Going out of there now is Bill McCoy. He's been replaced at the defensive end. Here's Hanratty going back to throw again. He's looking, he throws, and this one is complete at the 40-yard line. Complete at the 40-yard line. It's completed to Weingartner, the tight end, who is knocked out of bounds immediately on the 40. And they may have enough for another 1st down. Let's see where he stepped out on the 41-yard line. Hanratty putting the ball in the air, trying to get Notre Dame back in this ball game. He's trailing 23-14. He has a 1st down and 10 to go now from his own 41-yard, 4 for an even 200 yards today. Glad Joe's out wide to the right. Seymour's inside him, and Hanratty on the draw now to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman is tripped up right at the 40. He lost a yard. And Purdue diagnosed that play perfectly. Tukavik was the man who made the tackle along with Chuck Kyle. Tukavik is in there at the defensive end replacing Bill McCoy from Rice Landing, Pennsylvania. Ball is marked on the 41, so make it second down and 10, and no gain on the play. The clock is moving with 6:25 to go in the third. And Allen is flanked out to the left. They're in the I formation. And in motion now goes Gladjo to the right. Hanratty is going back. He throws a screen pass in the left flat. It's completed at the 40, the 45, to the 50. Goes the tight end, Weingartner. A perfectly set up screen pass out in the left flat. They let the linebackers who were blitzing on the play come right in on top of Hanratty, and he hit out in the left flat. His tight end. And that ball has been marked now at the 49-yard line in Purdue territory. And let's see if it's going to be just about 6 inches shy of a first down. And so now Notre Dame with the ball on the Purdue.
Here's a big third down coming up.
Hanratty on the call. Hanratty on a give this time to Gladjo, and I just don't believe, I don't know. We'll just have to wait till they unpile. He was stacked up right on the 49-yard line. Do you know what this game has been free of today, Al Wester? Penalties.
There have been no penalties whatsoever in the entire football game. That's an indication of two well-trained, strong football teams that are playing just good, solid football.
This could be the play of this ball game. It's fourth down. The ball has been marked back on the 50. It's fourth down and just about a half a yard to go. And so Notre Dame now is electing to go for it on the fourth down with 5.5 minutes. Fighting Irish are concerned. Purdue with a 9-man defensive line. Hanratty on the call with one setback, and he gives it off to his fullback, Zimmerman, and I believe Zimmerman got a first down. He did. It's a first down for Notre Dame. He's got it on the 48-yard line. Hanratty with one setback, Zimmerman, and he gave him the ball, and Purdue had a 9-man line up there. Let's go to Bill Etherton.
Kennedy and Brennan, two of the biggest men in the Notre Dame line, went in. Directly called by Earl Parseghian, and that was the play. Big B power straight ahead, and they made it. Back to you, Van.
Here's the T formation with Seymour split out to the right. Signals are being called now by Hanratty again. Hanratty fakes it, rolls out the right, throws a pass to Seymour. He's got it. He caught it in bounds on the 37-yard line. Notre Dame has another first down, and the Fighting Irish battling to get back on that scoreboard again. Purdue leading 23-14, but Hanratty and Seymour teaming up as they did as a sophomore. They have a first down on the 37-yard line now. That's the 7th catch today for Jim Seymour. Slot to the right. Allen in the slot to the left. It's a double wing T formation, and it's Zimmerman straight ahead, tripped up. He goes to the 34 with it, and you can give the credit to Yoncher there, who tripped him up. From Euclid, Ohio, 6'3", 240-pound junior. So the ball will be marked on the 34. It'll be second down and 7.
Van, I expect you're going to see Seymour after more passes. He's caught 7 today. Last week against Oklahoma, he caught a total of 9 for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, he's caught 7 already, but I have a pretty good idea that Hanratty is going to be working to him as much as possible.
Here's the I formation. Here's Hanratty going back to throw. He's looking, he throws. It's caught again. This one on the 22-yard line, and the official was knocked down by Weingartner on that one. And so Hanratty moving that Notre Dame football team down for another first one. He has it down on the 22-yard line of Purdue. Now we've got a nice wire here from an old friend of ours, Abe Schiller at the Dunes Hotel in Las Vegas. He said, I'm lying in bed with a broken ankle and listening to the...
With that white Palomino of his, and the horse stepped on him.
Here's Hanratty on a give this time to Allen. Allen gets it down to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 4 minutes of playing time remaining. Yunsick is the man who made the tackle.
Bob Yanaska was red dogging on that. He was blitzing a Van, and he was already in the backfield. He just shot the gap and was sitting there waiting.
All right, it'll be second down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They've moved. Jim Seymour's flanked to the right. Gladjo and Zimmerman, the setbacks, and Hanratty is caught before he can get rid of the ball. And in there to make the tackle. Harrisivas, the linebacker on the right side, just diagnosed the play perfectly. Hanratty had no chance to get rid of it, and he was knocked down on the 26-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play. It'll be third down and 14 yards to go for Notre Dame, and here's that key third down situation again for the Irish.
Well, once again, I believe they're flip-flopping there. One linebacker, then the other. Skivas was blitzing that time on the right side.
Hanratty sends Allen in motion. He's back to throw. He throws. It is incomplete, intended for Weingartner, the tight end, and that brings up the 4th and 14 situation. 4th down for Notre Dame after the Irish had moved the ball from their own 7.5 all the way down to the 22. They're confronted now with a 4th and 14 situation. From Leroy Keys is in there defensively now. He's dropping off to cover Jim Seymour. Weingartner's flanked out wide to the right. And let's see what happens here as Hanratty goes back to throw. He's looking for a receiver. He stiff arms one man. He finally is thrown down on the 37-yard line by Bill McCoy. He could not get rid of it, and Bill McCoy, number 88, finally knocked him down. And so Purdue, and you got to give a lot of credit to this great Purdue football team. They stop Notre Dame again, and they take over on their own 37-yard line, and they have it first down and 10 to go.
Alex Davis put tremendous pressure on Terry Hanratty there. He was pressuring him all the way.
They got Leroy Keys as a setback now, along with Perry Williams, the fullback. Mike Phipps is the quarterback, and he pitches it to Keys, and Keys is going to run. And look at Keys go to the 40. He's at the 45. He breaks a tackle, and he's finally caught at the 46-yard line by Don Reed of Flint, Michigan, and Ernie Jackson of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. They'll mark it dead on the 45-yard line. The Boilermakers, Leroy Keys, and now checking into the backfield for Purdue is Stanley Brown coming into the halfback. Keys in 9 carries has gained only 37 yards, but he's done a little bit of everything today. Keys is out of there. They've got Brown in there and flanked out wide to the left. Ball on the 45, 2nd down and 3. The give is to Williams, the fullback. And Williams plows straight ahead, and Olson and Kuchenberg are holding on to him. He got it up to about the 48-yard line, and he has a first down for the Purdue Boilermakers, and Jokic was also in on the tackle. So place the ball on the 48, make it first down and 10 to go for the Boilermakers.
Well, defense was the question as far as Notre Dame went. Going into this, Bob Olson and John Lavin are excellent.
Wide to left is Stanley Brown. Mike Phipps is going back to throw. He gets time. He throws it over the middle. It's almost intercepted by Notre Dame. It was deflected. It was intended for Dillingham and broken up there and almost intercepted. Don Reed batted it down. Army and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt 17, Army 13 at the end of 3. Miami leading Georgia Tech 10-7 in the third period. Flanked out wide to the left. Randy Cooper split to the right, and back goes Phipps to throw. Gets great protection. Throws a swing pass in the right flat to Perry Williams, the fullback, and he is bumped at the 40, but breaks a tackle, goes to the 35. He's down to the 30. He's all the way down to the 28-yard line before he's brought down by John Lavin and Don Reed. And they're going to mark it on the 29-yard line of Notre Dame. And so the Purdue Boilermakers are coming right back, and they are knocking on the door now. Check it where they're going to mark it, on the 29. 1st and 10 from that point.
Two great offensive teams are moving up and down the field, but the 20-yard lines, the real estate inside of the 20 at both ends of the field is tremendously hard to get.
Brown is flanked out the left. Phipps is going back to throw again. Now he's going to run up the middle. He is tackled there by big number 77, Mike McCoy, who came back to make the tackle and brought him down on the 26-yard line. Checking in now for Purdue, number 50, Dave Stidehar. There's a familiar name in football. His father is Joe Stidehar, who was a great player and a great coach. Ball on the 26. Phipps is 13 out of 20 for 159 yards. As Buck Jersey today has to be almost a computer to keep up with the offensive statistics in this ball game. And finally, Purdue calls timeout. 41 seconds to go in the third quarter. There's a timeout with a score: Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14. Wide to the left. Signals are being called by Mike Phipps. He gives to the fullback, and he's hit right at the 26-yard line by Bob Olson, the junior linebacker and co-captain of Notre Dame. That was a fullback, Perry Williams, on the carry. He's 6'2", a senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. So now then, Leroy Keys is coming in, replacing Brown, with 3rd down and 7 coming up. Nice wire from E.J. Gorman in Passaic, New Jersey, listening to South Bend, Indiana. Signals are being called by Phipps. Phipps is going back to throw another pass. He cocks his arm. He throws one to Keys, and Keys has got it, but he's tackled immediately on the 14. Let's check it now, about the 17-yard line, where Leroy Keys was caught by Charlie Zlock, who's in there. He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And now then, with the ball marked on the 17, that's the end of the third quarter with the score: Purdue 23, Notre Dame 14.
Hi, this is Phil Foster. You know, I got a buddy who's got a terrible car. His car is such...
Leroy Keys picked up that first down by just 1 yard.
Then Mike Phipps will go to Keys when he's got 3rd down and yardage to get. He will work to Keys almost every time. He fires away at it, and he's certainly got a great target there. Keys ran a simple pattern right down. He was split wide to the right, went down the sidelines 8 yards, cut straight across the middle. Purdue, 237 yards passing, 124 yards rushing. They offensively have 361 yards. Notre Dame has outgained them slightly, 232 yards passing, 144 yards rushing, 376 yards total for Notre Dame to 361 for Purdue.
It'll be first down and 10 to go for the Boilermakers when play is resumed, starting play in the fourth quarter at South Bend. 15 minutes of playing time remaining now. The Boilermakers own the football. They have it on the 18-yard line of Notre Dame. The Irish with chances to get back in this ball game, but they just haven't been able to push them across in the third quarter. Now they're heading into the fourth quarter, and time will, of course, become a factor now. Mike Phipps with Keys and Williams as his setbacks. He pitches back to Keys. He's got blocking. He's at the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Purdue. They moved 62 yards in 7 plays. Leroy Keys going 18 yards in a hole you could drive a truck through. And Purdue goes out in front 29-14, and the Purdue Rooters go wild across the field.
He's every bit the football player they said. Here's a fella that is going to be awfully hard to keep away from the Heisman Award.
Here's the kick. It's up by Jones, and it is good. And the score now is Purdue 30, Notre Dame 14. We'll be back with Purdue's kickoff in just a moment. Say, when you figure the gas mileage you got from your car, ever figure how much your tires have to do with it? Well, your tires can actually improve. Elmer Sokol and Sergeant Santa here of the Sheriff's Department for getting us out to that airport each week. Purdue 30, Notre Dame 14. And here's the kick now by Jones. And it is coming down and taken by Ducheny on the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. And he's tackled at the 25 and fumbled the football. And the whistle had blown before he dropped the ball. So it'll be Notre Dame's ball. First down and 10 to go. And Notre Dame will have it on their own 24-yard line as the whistle had blown.
First and 10 for the Irish at their 24-yard line. About 20 yards in from the far sidelines here at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana. 30-14. Purdue leads Notre Dame in a tremendous display of power.
Now then Notre Dame breaks out of the huddle. They send Allen out wide to the left. And Hanratty going back to throw. He's looking for a receiver. He cocks his arm. He can't find one. He's going to be brought down. Back on the 26-yard line. Yaneska, the linebacker, followed him all the way and made the tackle. And the secondary did a great job that time on the Notre Dame receivers. They had him bottled up, had him covered. And no chance for Hanratty to get rid of the ball. He just had to eat the football. He wound up by gaining a couple of yards to the 26. So it'll be second down and 8 to go. Number 22, Dennis Allen of Ashtabula, Ohio. The I formation. Hanratty sends Gladjo in motion to the left. Hanratty rolling out to the left, throws a swing pass out here to Gladjo. He's at the 25. He trapped the ball. He couldn't get it. It was round his shoelaces, and he trapped the ball. So it'll go back again to the 26. It'll be third down and 8 to go for Notre Dame. Notre Dame now trailing by 16 points, and the complexion of this ball game has certainly been changed now with that run by Leroy Keys into the end zone. He had great blocking, and ironically, one of the 17-0 Southern California leading Northwestern. One setback. It's the fullback Zimmerman. Hanratty is looking for a receiver. He's running for his life now. It's going to be pulled down back on the 15-yard line by Wergowski, the right end, along with Yaneska, the linebacker, and the Purdue Boilermaker rooting section are really getting a boot out of this one, as Hanratty just couldn't get rid of the ball. They are doing a great job of defending Notre Dame right now. The ball on the 16-yard line, where it'll be fourth down and about 23.
Our last week.
All right, now Derry back there, and he left puts that ball up the field. It hits on the 47 and bounds around. Purdue lets it roll. It rolls down to the 46-yard line in Purdue territory, where it'll be first down and 10 to go for the Boilermakers, and they have that football again. 38 yards on the kick. We have 13 minutes and 12 seconds of playing time remaining. Don't forget, next Saturday, we'll be at Iowa City to broadcast the game between Iowa and Notre Dame. Ray Nagel's fine Iowa team. Ball on the 46-yard line. First down and 10 to go for the white-shirted Boilermakers. We're having a great day out here today. Ranked number 1 by one of the polls. And if they can hang on to this, they'll certainly be the number 1 on everybody's poll at the end of this one. Purdue 30, Notre Dame 14. 13 minutes, 12 seconds of playing time remaining. Let's go down now on the sidelines and talk to Bill Etherton.
Well, Van, it's not a very happy scene here on the Notre Dame bench. There's a very quiet group of Irish in blue jerseys with gold pants, the Purdue team on the other side. I was watching down here at ground level, and the field, as you know, is curved. You can see first the number 23 of Leroy Keys lead his teammates back out on the field. Leroy exhorting and patting him on the back and yelling, and we can't hear what he's saying, but he is perhaps saying, let's go get some more, because the momentum is certainly with the Boilermakers. Jubilation, delight, excitement, happiness on the far side. On the Notre Dame side, it's quiet, and the Irish are desperately scrambling to get that football and get on that scoreboard with only 13-12 remaining to play in the game.
In there defensively now for Notre Dame. And here's a pitch back to Leroy Keys. Same play. He scored the touchdown on a moment ago. This time he was tripped up at the 50. Kuchenberg and McCoy bringing him down. He got the ball, let's call it the 50-yard line. The nose of it just about on that chalk mark. So a gain on the play of 4. It'll be second down and about 6. Keys now in 11 carries has gained 58 yards, but his yards have been big ones.
Clanton King there for a moment.
Signals are being called by Mike Phipps. He gives it off to Kirkpatrick, and he is caught from behind by Bob Jokish. Jokish, the 260-pound junior from Peoria, and flags are down, and we may get our first penalty of the ball game. We've had flags thrown, but no penalties were called. Southern California leading Northwestern 17-0. Michigan, check it. Michigan 24, Duke 10 in the third quarter. A final, West Virginia 38, Pittsburgh 15. And we'd like to invite you to stay along with Randy Cooper's flankers. Keys is the wide man to the right, and back goes Phipps to throw. And Phipps is going to run with the ball, and there's nobody there. He's at the 45, he's at the 50, and he dives to the 48-yard line. The tackle was made by Jim Sheehan, number 16, from Bellevue, Washington, on the 48-yard line. So they'll mark the ball on the 48 where it'll be third down. He gained 14 yards on that play. He had nobody in front of him but the official, and he blocked himself out of the way. 12 minutes and 5 seconds.
To the right, of course, the 4 linebackers shift over to the right.
Keys flank wide to the right. Phipps is looking for him. He's covered. He throws. It's caught. And you know who caught it. Dillingham. What a day he's had. He's caught 11 passes today. He's got a first down on the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. How about this fella?
Special delivery Dillingham, you might as well call him. This fella really comes up with the big ones. He catches them all over the field.
Mark the ball on the 37. Make it first down and 10 to go. Keys and Perry Williams are the setbacks in the pro set. And here's a pitch back to Keys. Keys is hit at the 35-yard line, and Olsen is the man in there to make the tackle for Notre Dame, and he's played a fine ball game. A flag goes down. Kuchenberg was also on the tackle. And a big discussion on the play. Griffin and Kuchenberg were exchanging pleasantries out there on the field, talking about what a nice day it is, and the penalty will be against Notre Dame. On the left side, it's the I formation with Kirkpatrick in the top of the I, and he has the toss back from Phipps, and he is brought down. In there making the tackle that time for Notre Dame.
Chuck Lauk made a great one there, Van. He just flew in there. He just broke right wide and came in with the play. Keyed on the ball carrier, and he had to dive to make the tackle, and he did a beautiful job of it.
He's out wide to the right, dropping off is Charlie Zlock to cover him. And back goes Phipps, cocks his arm, throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Dillingham had it, and it's the first time today he's dropped one.
Well, that's the first one, the first shovel that he's dropped today. That was a little inside pass. He just take 2 steps over and cut right down the line, and it was right in the breadbasket, and he just couldn't keep the shovel going.
That proves he's human after all, I suppose. Zlock is dropping off to cover with him, and Don Reed. Back goes Phipps. He gets time. He throws over the middle. It is completed. Completed on the 19-yard line, and completed to Kirkpatrick, and he's tackled right on the 19-yard line. So the series originating on the 20. It'll be fourth down now, and 9 yards to go for Purdue. And now coming in here is Jeff Jones. So the Boilermakers are going to try to put 3
into shape, because it may be the time he needs it. Here's the kick.
This one is short, way short. So the score is Purdue 30, Notre Dame 14. We'll be back in just a moment.
Who said freeways are free? Well, I'm Al Cap, and I say nonsense. Freeways are just long entrance ramps to repair shops in there.
Hey, back to you, Ben.
Notre Dame taking over on their own 20-yard line with the first down after the try for the field goal was no good. Hanratty's going back to throw. He looks, he's being chased. He runs away from one man. He throws, it's incomplete. Incomplete. Intended for Gladjo and incomplete. The pressure is being put on Hanratty. That stops the clock with 10 minutes. McCoy and Wergowski, the 2 ends. Yancher and Marie, the 2 tackles, and putting the pressure on. And now Seymour And Zimmerman checking in there. Ducheny comes out. The ball on the 20. Second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from their own. Seymour is flanked out the left along with Dennis Allen. Hanratty is going back to throw. He throws one to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman's going to be dropped on the 16-yard line, losing 4 yards on the play. And Yanaska, who's played a terrific ball game, the linebacker on the left side, is the man who made the tackle. So a loss of 4. It's third down and 14 yards to go. And now coming in here for Notre Dame, time, along with Gladjo. 2 setbacks, Ducheny. And here goes Hanratty back. He's looking, he throws to, it's intercepted by Purdue on the 31-yard line. Intercepted by John O'Reilly, intended for Seymour. And intercepted by John O'Reilly of Fort Wayne, Indiana. 179-pound senior, and the Purdue Boilermakers are right back again. What a job this ball club has done today.
O'Reilly really went into the turf to get that one. He really got that one diving and sliding on his chest and charged up.
Jack Molenkoff going all the way with that first unit. Pitch back now from Phipps to Keys. Keys reverses his field. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He's dropped on the 18-yard line. What a great broken field runner he is. Charlie Schlock, number 27 of Fort Lauderdale, brought him down on the 18-yard line. So make it now first down and 10 to go for Purdue. The ball is on the Notre Dame 18. Coming in now for Notre Dame. Patrick and Perry Williams are the setbacks. And Mike Phipps pitches it back now to Williams. He's got a hole. Look at this. The 10, the 5, a touchdown for Purdue. 31 yards in 2 plays. 18 yards as Perry Williams, the fullback, ripped it over for the Boilermakers. They lead now 36-14. Jeff Jones will attempt the extra point. Mike Phipps will hold. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the score now is Purdue 37, Notre Dame 14. We'll be back with Purdue's kickoff in just a moment. You hear a lot of talk these days about tires. New car tires, belted tires, fiberglass tires. B.F. Goodrich makes them all, and they're all good tires.
Able in practice on Monday to run well, and he just limped off the field, a bad right ankle, Van.
Here's the boot now by Jones, and it's taken there on the 7-yard line by Gladjo. Back to the 20, back to the 25. He's to the 26 and dropped on the 26-yard line. And making the tackle there for the Purdue Boilermakers, number 68, Bob Brumby, making the tackle. First down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They have the ball on their own 26. It's been all Purdue here in the second half, as Notre Dame has been able to muster a couple of drives, but they haven't been able to cross that Purdue goal line.
Well, here's the Irish now with a 1st and 10 on their 26, Van, and some stats in just a moment.
Hanratty on a pitch back this time to Gladjo, and Gladjo is nailed at the 26, and there's a flag on the play. All right, Al.
As for the Purdue rushing game, Keys has gained 72 yards in 13 carries. Williams has gained 45 yards in 10 carries, and Kirkpatrick 58 yards in 7 carries. This will just give you an idea what a tremendous game this Boilermaker.
And Theismann is now the quarterback. Ducheny is the fullback. And Theismann on the keeper, rolling out to the right. And he gets just about 2, possibly 3 yards, and Chuck Kyle brings him down. Theismann is a 6-footer, 170-pound sophomore from South River, New Jersey. The ball will be marked on the 42-yard line, where it'll be second down and 8 yards to go.
Van, Purdue has 442 yards total, 257 passing, 185 rushing. So this Boilermaker team moves the football.
Takavic has gone in there defensively, replacing Bill McCoy at left end for Purdue. Theismann running the ball club, and he's going back to throw, looking for a receiver. He throws one. It's completed on the 46-yard line to Dennis Allen, who was tackled immediately by Tim Foley, 6-footer from Wilmette, Illinois. And the ball will be marked on the 46-yard line of Purdue, where it'll be first down for Notre Dame with 7 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining. Hanratty, while he was in there, had 18 of 32. Here's the I formation now with 2 flankers. Theismann calling the signals. Theismann on the keeper again, and he's going to be dumped back on the 50-yard line. Right back on the 50-yard line. And in there making the tackle for the Boilermakers was Takavic, who just went in there. from Rice Landing, Pennsylvania. He's a 207-pound sophomore. Hanratty goes back in. Hanratty back in there now with second down and 14 yards to go for Notre Dame. The ball is on the 49-yard line there. Hogue, who's been playing the left tackle defensively for Purdue. The I formation again. And Hanratty going back to throw again. He's being chased. He's trying to get rid of it. Now he can't, and he has to get it out of bounds on about the 43-yard line in Purdue territory. Once more, that defense doing a great job of covering the downfield receivers. Yanaska, number 58, who was the left backer, and you got to credit him, Al, with playing one of the great defensive ball games today.
Bob Yanaska's done that. Not only has he defensed beautifully, as the linebacker should on that side, but he's done some fine blitzing assignments in the backfield of the Notre Dame, and it's been a constant thorn.
Third down coming up, and back goes Hanratty again to throw. Got some protection now. Now they're in on him, and he's looking for a receiver. He throws one. It's incomplete. Incomplete at the 35-yard line, intended for Gladjo, number 20, and incomplete. So they whistle the ball back. We have exactly 6.5 minutes of playing time remaining, and it's a fourth down coming up for Notre Dame. And coming in now is Coley O'Brien. Series originating on the 46 is now on the 43. And here is Hanratty going back to throw. Still retreating. He looks, he throws. It is caught at the 30-yard line by Weingartner, the tight end. He caught it at the 30. He'll have a first down for Notre Dame. The Irish trying to get on that board again with 6 minutes and 20 seconds of playing time remaining. Purdue leading 37-14. First down now for Notre Dame.
With Purdue using a zone now and then zone pass defense here, why Weingartner didn't have too much trouble going down the left side, streaking across and cutting over to the far sidelines and getting loose for the moment for the catch.
Back goes Hanratty. He throws, and this one is intercepted by the Purdue Boilermakers. Seymour makes the tackle on Webster, who intercepted the ball for the Boilermakers down on the 20. And Seymour, the intended receiver, knocked him out of bounds around the neighborhood of the 21 or 22. We'll wait for them to mark it. That's the third interception today for the Boilermakers. 6 minutes of playing time remaining. And the score is Purdue 37, Notre Dame 14. And they're going to place it down on the 21, so it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Purdue from the 21-yard line. Next week it'll be Iowa against Notre Dame. And being behind in this one and going down in this ball game is certainly not the end of the world for Notre Dame, because they've got a great schedule coming up and could climb right back into the rankings. And Purdue, of course, ranked number 1 in the nation. They're going to have to run into all those tough Big Ten teams, and it's going to be anybody's guess as to who will finish on top in college football this year.
Van, as I pointed out earlier, Jack Mollenkopf, the coach of the Purdue Boilermakers, is the oldest active coach, head coach, for a major college football team in the country. At 63, Jack is a very spry gentleman, and he has produced possibly his greatest football team right here this year. They have shown us some things today that I am sure that surprises just about everybody across the land. Although they were picked in many of the preseason polls number 1, it looks like they're going to be number 1 when the afternoon is over.
Bullock and Englebright are in that backfield. They took Keys out of there, and here's Englebright running with the ball. He's up to the 25-yard line with it, and there the tackle is made. In there to make the tackle was Jim Sheehan, number 16. Mike Englebright is a junior from West Bend. He's 6'1", a 210-pounder. John Bullock is a sophomore from Newport News, Virginia. Coming out of there now is Bob Olson, who's played a tremendous ball game today for Notre Dame. Condrela has replaced him now as the left inside backer. Kirkpatrick, and the quarterback in there is Keepert. And Keepert on a pitch back here to the new fullback, and it's John Bullock. And Bullock dropped the ball, and it was covered, I believe, by Notre Dame on the 26-yard line. Let's see the man, Buck, who got it. Notre Dame man getting up the top of that football there is number 34, Mike Condrela, who just went in there. He's from Oakland, New Jersey, and he just went into the ball game, and he recovered the fumble on the 26-yard line as Bullock dropped the ball. And now Notre Dame with the football on the 26, first down and 10 to go. Let's go down on the sidelines now to Bill Etherton.
Van, Purdue may not be a one-man team, but Leroy Keys is just about the complete football player. As he left the field a moment ago, assistant coach Ron Meyer grabbed him around the shoulders, pounded him on the back. Jack Mollenkopf, the head coach of Purdue, was next. They gave him a big hug, and then one by one, the clean white-shirted substitutes who have not yet come in grabbed him also, along with members of the defensive platoon. A great day for a great football player, very well appreciated by his teammates, Leroy Keys. Back to the press box and Van Patrick.
Seymour's flanked out to the left. Gladjo split to the right. The I formation. Hanratty is the quarterback. Hanratty going back to throw. Gets some time. Throws to Seymour. And Seymour right on about the 16-yard line, but just couldn't hang on to that one. The ball was thrown a little bit too low. That stops the clock. 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go. It'll be second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from the 26-yard line of Purdue after the fumble recovery by Mike Condrela. Next week, it'll be
after a 21-20 victory over Oregon State. Tonight are in Fort Worth, the Battle Texas Christian.
Here's Hanratty rolling out to the right. Still rolling out to the right. He's going to have to get rid of it. He throws it, and it's a comeback pattern there. Run by Gladjo, and Gladjo grabs it on the 13-yard line and is tackled immediately. Actually was a broken pattern because his pass pattern he had set up had long since gone by the boards as he scrambled for his life, but Gladjo, coming back on the comeback, picked it off on the 13, was tackled immediately. So now it'll be first down. Boilermakers lead, 37-14. Hanratty on the call again. Hanratty on a give this time to his halfback, Gladjo. Gladjo's down to the 10-yard line, getting about 3 on the play. In there to make the tackle for the Purdue Boilermakers was Yancher, the left tackle, number 72, the linebacker Kyle in there, and the ball is going to be marked right on the 10. So make it, and now Allen is flanked out to the left. The setbacks are Duchesne along with Gladjo, and Hanratty calling the signals, running the option play, and he's going to be bumped on the 8-yard line. Stopped there by Webster, number 32, in there for the Purdue Boilermakers on the 8-yard line, and Mike Ray. So mark it on the 8-yard line, make it third down. Al?
The secondary of Purdue is absolutely fabulous the way they are pursuing, and they are pursuing tremendously. Foley along with Bob Yanaska and Bennett. Great second effort.
Here's Hanratty rolling out to the right. He throws a swing pass to Allen. He's at the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. A touchdown, Notre Dame. That makes the score Purdue 37, Notre Dame 20. Allen scoring his second touchdown of the day, taking a pass out in the flat and scampering into the end zone. Now we'll have the try for point. The clock shows 3 minutes and 27 seconds of playing time remaining. 37-20. 57 points have been racked up in this ball game today. Hanratty's going to go for 2. He's rolling to the right, looking for a receiver. Throws, complete. In the end zone, it's completed to Allen. And the score now is Purdue 37, Notre Dame 22. We'll be back with Notre Dame's kickoff in just a moment. If you could watch an ordinary tire take a fast, tight turn, you'd see part of the tread pull right up off the road. But watch a B.F. Goodrich Silvertown radial tire take a corner, and you'll see all the tread stay right on the road, firm and... Notre Dame will kick off to Purdue. The clock shows 3 minutes and 27 seconds of playing time remaining. There, Parsegan was right out on the field there yelling something. Hanratty, 21 of 38 today. Well, time has been called here. The official pointing down at Purdue and indicating a Purdue timeout, and now Purdue's got too many men on the field. They got everybody out there but Molenkoff, right? Well, you can imagine they're excited, and they should be, because they've got a great football team, and they're leading Notre Dame 37-22, and they deserve every bit of the credit they'll be receiving in the press. And we've got writers from all over the country here. I just bumped into Jim Murray, an old friend of ours from Los Angeles, the Times. Here, Al, today. He's covering the ball game. Cy Burig from Dayton, Ohio. Lou Smith from Cincinnati. George Vann from the Detroit News. They're here from all over the country today covering this ball game, and they've seen quite a game. 37-22 the score, Purdue leading. And now we're waiting for the kickoff. O'Brien will be the kickoff man, and Purdue's figuring O'Brien for the onside kick. And Al and I are figuring him for the same thing.
Absolutely. At this point, that's the one thing you can hope for, a loose football.
Now everybody's set. There's the whistle. Well, let's see what O'Brien does with it. That's about his only hope. And he does. He tries it, and Purdue's got the ball. It's fumbled. It's covered by Notre Dame. Covered by Notre Dame on the 47-yard line. So the Irish will have the football on the 47-yard line. Villeman is the man who covered it. Villeman is the man who covered it. And the ball will be marked on the 48-yard line of Notre Dame. And the Irish have the football. First down and 10 to go with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Hanratty is in there at quarterback.
You can bet on this. They'll put that football in the air, and they'll keep it there. Terry Hanratty will start throwing from the 21 seconds, and as it stands on the clock right now, he's 15 points behind.
Allen and Ducheny are setbacks. Hanratty is back to throw. Throws one. It's completed out there to Gladjo at the 50, the 45. He's to the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15. He is finally knocked out of bounds on the 13-yard line. He really scampered with that ball, and they're going to call it all the way back here to the 26 where he stepped out of bounds. You've got to give Notre Dame credit. They're not giving up in this ball game. They're trailing 37-22, but they're still going all out.
And talk about a great bunch of fans. Why, the Notre Dame fans here at South Bend are only one way. Any indication the Irish are coming to life, and they're off of their seats, they're jumping up and down, and the Notre Dame at the 26-yard line of Purdue.
26 yards gained on the play. Hanratty going back to throw again. He's rushed. He throws. It is incomplete. Intended down on that 18-yard line for the tight end Weingartner, but incomplete. That stops the clock with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go.
The big left tackle, Bill Yankchaw, had come driving through there, this big 240-pounder. Nobody hit him there as he made his move.
Send Coley O'Brien out wide to the left. Seymour's on the right side. Hanratty's back to throw again. The rush is on. It's a screen pass, and it is incomplete on the 30-yard line. Intended for the tight end Weingartner, but incomplete. That stops the clock. 2:57 to go. Purdue 37, Notre Dame 22. And so now going back into the ball game is Dennis Allen. So mark the ball on the 26. Remember, it's 3rd and 10 from the Purdue 26. And Hanratty going back to throw. He's looking. He throws one. It's completed at the 30-yard line to Gladjo. 25 out of bounds on the 22-yard line. It'll be 4th down coming up and 6 yards to go for Notre Dame as Gladjo went out of bounds on the 22. Missouri beating Illinois today, 28-0. They're ahead of them. Alabama, Paul Bryant's great team, beating Southern Mississippi. But just remember, and 6 yards to go for Notre Dame with the ball on the 22-yard line of Purdue. Hanratty now takes the ball, rolls out to the right, looks for a receiver, reverses his field. He's still being rushed. A good block out there. He looks, he throws. This one is incomplete, right into the stands. Right into the stands. Bill McCoy got blocked into the second deck on that particular play. And Hanratty has to surrender the football, and Purdue takes over on their own 22. 1st and 10 to go with 2:40 to play.
Sure, Mr. Patrick, there isn't an Irishman in the crowd down there that's going to quit breathing or think that this football team...
Phipps is a quarterback, and he's got the first-string unit in there. Here's a pitch back to Williams, the fullback. Williams is caught at the 21-yard line, but another flag goes down. On the 21-yard line, after the 5-yard walk-off, the series of downs originating on the 22, where it was 1st down and 15 yards to go after the 5-yard penalty. And let's see what happens here. A discussion on the play. 1st down and 20 from the 8.5. Phipps on a pitch back to Leroy Keys. Keys breaks a tackle. Keys still on his feet, up to the 20, up to the 22. Finally tackled on the 22-yard line, and that's where the whole thing started. Freeberry made the tackle. Joe Freeberry of Wilmington, Delaware, made the tackle. And I know we've got a lot of listeners in Wilmington on WRCP in Philadelphia.
I would imagine we've got a few down in Georgetown, South Carolina on WGTN, an old station where we have a lot of friends.
You were there in about 1912.
About 1912.
There's a fumble, but it's covered by Purdue. A fumble, but the ball was covered by Purdue's quarterback, Phipps. Back inside the 15-yard line. Leroy Keys fumbled, and Phipps covered the ball. 1:40 seconds to play. It'll be 3rd down, and now Notre Dame calls timeout to stop that clock. Purdue leading by a score of 37-22. And Notre Dame, along with Gladjo, Keys in 16 carries today has gained 90 yards. High pass from center. but he gets the kick away and a good one. Coming back here to Gladjo at the 33, 35. He goes wide now. Still to the 40, the 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He drops the ball. It's covered by Notre Dame. And there's a wild scramble for the ball, and Purdue has got it. On the 28-yard line, Purdue recovers the ball. After a brilliant run back there of that punt by Gladjo, he looked like he just ran out of gas and dropped the ball, and Dick Berg is the man who covered it. Back down on the 19-yard line where it'll be first down for Purdue.
This football game has had everything in it I've ever seen in a football game. A 48-yard return. As he went down, he fumbled the football. It looked like a Notre Dame man covered it. Then a Purdue man dived on top of it. Purdue has recovered the football. They have possession now on their own 19-yard line. And I'll say one thing. That football has taken some weird bounces.
With the ball, 41 seconds of playing time remaining. Keys out to the right. And the quarterback sneak, and they're just trying to kill the clock now. Keepert is in there at quarterback, and he's the only member of the second unit. Otherwise, Molenkoff has got his first unit in there, and they may not get another play underway because Purdue is in no hurry to do it. They're leading at third. Purdue cheering section over there, counting with the clock, and they will go wild here when that gun goes off. And now it's a quarterback sneak again. Keepert just falling on the ball. Purdue with 463 yards, Notre Dame with 447, 910, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, it's all over. Purdue has defeated Notre Dame 37-22 here at South Bend. In just a moment, we'll present the wrap-up of today's game. You know, we've had so many requests from fans all around the nation who want to hear the Notre Dame band at the end of the game as they play that traditional Notre Dame victory march, although today they'll be playing it with tongue-in-cheek because they were defeated 37-22 by a great Purdue team, ranked number 1 in the nation now, and I'm sure on both college polls. But we're going to take this opportunity to satisfy the fans around the nation and our armed forces around the world who are listening in today and give them the opportunity to hear this Notre Dame band. And we'll go back and recap the ball game for you as Notre Dame went down to defeat Purdue, every bit as good as you've heard. Leroy Keys, perhaps even a little better than you've heard. 37-22 the final, and here's the Notre Dame victory march. Now let's go down on the sidelines for any comments that Bill Atherton might have.
Well, thank you, Van. Down here on the sidelines all through the game, we saw the Notre Dame bench run the wide gamut of emotion, from the very best to the very worst of happiness, as they were elated, jubilant at times as the Irish got down to the Purdue 25, time and time again, but couldn't get beyond, and the very worst of feelings as they saw Leroy Keys, as they had been warned, give him an inch and he'll take your leg or arm, and he certainly did here this afternoon. The Purdue band is parading out down to my immediate right, the Notre Dame band going off the field, and it now will be Purdue's turn to take the field and be justly proud of this tremendous win over Notre Dame here this afternoon. All hail Purdue, the number 1 college football team in the country, as they have proven here this afternoon. That's it, Van. Back up to you.
All right, while the Purdue band assembles, let's get a recap here in this ball game today, and you're going to be busy with that, Al, because 37-22, that's just 59 points, that's all.
37-22, Purdue on the scoreboard first with a 17-yard field goal by Jeff Jones, the only score of the first quarter, and Purdue, after 15 minutes, led 3-0. The Boilermakers came back with 20 points in the second quarter. Notre Dame scored 14. The Irish scored the first touchdown after a short punt. Denny Allen rolled around right end to climax a drive from 6 yards out. Notre Dame was ahead 7-3. Leroy Keys, who played a part in 3 of the touchdowns this afternoon, engineered the next one and swept left in from 16 yards out to make it 10-7 Purdue. Again, it was Keys, only this time passing as he hit Dillingham in the end zone from 17 yards out for the second Purdue touchdown. 17-7 was the score. Mike Phipps then passing to Dillingham. Dillingham making his second touchdown of the afternoon. And Purdue was leading 23-7. Before the half, however, Terry Hanratty unleashed a 19-yard shot to Tom Eaton, and at halftime, the Irish went in trailing 23-14. The third quarter of this football game was scoreless. At the end of 3, it remained 23-14, anybody's football game, and then Keys broke it open. Off left tackle, 17 yards to climax, a drive of 62 yards in 7 plays. Keys in for the touchdown. The kick was good. Purdue led 30-14. Fullback Williams rambled off right tackle 18 yards out to make it 37-14 as Purdue went 31 yards in 2 plays. That was all the Purdue scoring. Notre Dame came back for a touchdown, and the 2-point extra point rule was applied as they threw for the extra point. Hanratty passing to Denny Allen for the touchdown. Hanratty passing again to Allen for the 2 extra points, 37-22. That was the final score this afternoon. Incidentally, I might add, this Purdue band is quite impressive, over 300 strong.
Well, that's just about the story now at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame defeated today. Purdue 37, Notre Dame 22, the final score. Next week, Notre Dame will bump into that tough Iowa team out in Iowa City. Our thanks to Bob Boyd, in charge of the engineering of WNDU here in South Bend, Buck Jersey, our spotter and statistician, and Frank Miller, our executive producer from Mutual in New York. And this is Van Patrick speaking for Al Wester and Bill Etherton. And today's game has been brought to you by the Prestone Antifreeze, the brand that stands up to the acid test. Ford and your Ford dealer, the place you got to go to see what's going on. State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. And by B.F. Goodrich, the company that launched the radial age. Van Patrick saying so long from South Bend, Indiana.